Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Video Games podcast, a podcast where we discuss video-related games and games-related news. My name is Jimmy Gang, and I'm joined by three of my good friends: Paul McBride,
Hello,
Mike Gibson, and Jason Zopoulos.
Woo woo!
It's a monthly podcast. We're still working on the exact day that it'll post every month. We'll let you know as soon as we know. How's everybody doing?
Are we doing this in order? Should I go first?
I mean, you can just talk.
Oh yeah, I'm great. I'm great. A little tired. It's pretty late.
Not that late.
It's almost 12:30.
What?
How was work?
It's good. I'm taking interviews right now, Mike.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
disappointing.
Yeah, you're not.
Did he not
It's
make
not
the
looking
cut?
good.
Well,
No,
Mike
not
is
great.
looking for a job, everybody.
It's
So,
true.
Paul, you should hire him.
I'm sure that with his performance tonight, he's going
Is
to have a lot
this
of.
his interview?
I think a lot of people are going to be really interested in hiring him.
Yeah.
Find out at the end of the podcast if I'm still employed.
Jason, how are you?
Good.
What have you been up to?
Not much. Looking for a job too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of job are you
hiring.
looking for?
Something graphic design. Maybe I'll work with Link.
Work
We
with
get a
Link?
job together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at Paul's Pharmacy.
Yep.
Ah, Mike.
Yeah, what's up? It's me. Hey, what's up? It's your boy.
How's it going?
It's been going like that. You know, lots of fast action, lots of high.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Lots of video games.
What do you-
It's
Yeah.
been Video Game Central. You know, I know.
I mean, that's what
the
this
folks
podcast.
at home know.
That's what this podcast is about.
Ostensibly.
What have we been playing? Let's start with Paul.
Oh, well, like everybody else, everyone else is done with it, but I've been playing a lot of Zelda.
Okay.
I'm a little slower on the uptake on this one, but yeah, Breath of the Wild.
How far are you?
What's that
in
one
Zelda?
about?
I would say I'm probably, I've only done one of the, I don't know, I don't want to go into too much
Call them
detail, I
dungeons.
guess.
Let's call them
Dungeons?
dungeons.
Okay, I've
Yes.
done one of the dungeons, quote unquote,
Okay.
but I'm probably about 40 hours in, so
Oh, okay.
Done.
it kind of
Really?
lets you meander. 35, I guess. I don't know.
I
The Switch
didn't
is
think
very.
I didn't think you were that far.
Yeah, it said you're over 30 hours into the game, so I'm somewhere in the 30-35 range.
That could be 100.
Right.
Right, it's not very specific.
Is that all you've been playing?
No, I play Zelda. Overwatch is kind of a perennial favorite for us.
Right.
So that just doesn't really go away. They've been adding some new stuff there, so that's been fun.
We'll talk about that.
Of course. And then I guess the thing I'm playing that no one else is really playing is the real Harvest Moon game. It came out on 3DS.
Wait, they released a Harvest Moon game on 3DS?
No, it's Story of Seasons.
Oh,
Trio
the
Town, or Town of
knockoff.
Tree.
A knockoff series.
Yeah, no, the
Is this
one
made
that's
in China?
produced. The one that Marvelous actually works on, the farm story guys,
Who
the
names themselves Marvelous?
company with a lot of confidence.
Hmm.
But it's another one of those. It's really good. I mean,
Is it the best Harvest Moon you've played?
No. I mean, it's got the most options. It's the newest. It's the shiniest. But there's something special about those old games.
Is it better than the first Story of Seasons?
Yeah, it's better than the first Story Seasons. I think it's probably up there with New Beginning. If I was
Okay,
to rank them.
that's pretty high praise in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, it's solid. I mean, it gives you a lot of options. I don't know. Should I just go into this right now with this game?
I mean, you could talk about it a little bit, sure.
Okay, all right. Well, so the premise of I guess for anyone who doesn't know, Harvest Moon's it's a farming like it's a farming like life simulator. People like Stardew Valley was a kind of a homage to the old Harvest Moon game, and I know Jimmy, you played a lot of that.
I have. You got me into those actually.
Right. Right. So I mean, it sounds like a really boring genre. You just farm and
Yes.
you make money and you romance townspeople and make friendships and attend festivals.
Oh, tell me more about the romance.
Yeah, there's romance options, bachelors and bachelorettes. Um, I play as a guy, so I'm romancing the ladies.
Okay.
I mix it up with
I
this
wouldn't have
game.
guessed. I wouldn't have guessed that. But
I like to. Well, okay. I only play female characters in non-romance games.
Okay.
Like Mass Effect, where you
Okay.
don't. There's no romance.
Where there's no romance.
No romance.
Right.
Just lust.
Love is dead. There's only sex.
Like they say, the stars is where love goes to die.
Right. But no, it's just. I mean, it's. I guess it gives you options. You don't lay out a town like in New Beginning, but you do lay out your farm, and you can raise more animals than ever before. There's more kinds of crops than ever before. There's different kinds. I mean, they're throwing just a lot of stuff at you. And if you're like new to the series, you don't have to get into that stuff. Like you don't have to. It doesn't force you to do it to be like successful. But if you're someone who's been playing them for a long time, it's nice because you're not just raising chickens and cows again. Like they add more stuff. So
let me ask you this about that. If somebody was interested in playing one of those types of games, where would you suggest they start?
Oh, well, from what I understand, Stardew Valley probably.
Okay, I was gonna ask if that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
Am I the only one here who's played that game?
What,
I played
Stardew Valley.
I played into summer, but
Oh, you did play some.
into like I got like towards the end of summer year one, so
Okay.
that's like nothing really. But
Mike, Jason, did you play that game?
I've never touched Stardew Valley.
No,
or
I
any
never
other-
touched it.
Like none of those Harvest Moon style games.
Okay. I would probably agree. I think Stardew Valley is a good starting point, and especially now that it's coming to consoles too. But yeah, that's cool. I didn't know if it was good or not. You say it's like New Beginning. That's exciting.
yeah, for sure. I definitely, like I said, if you like that kind of a thing, you should play it. If you don't know what it is, you should give it a chance. But I mean, if it sounds even moderately interesting, but if it doesn't, then it's not going to change your mind. Like
Well,
if farming.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say if farming doesn't sound like if raising crops and doing like kind of like it's kind of like Animal Crossing, I guess, for a touchstone for people that probably played, like more people have played. You do the same tasks every day. Like if that sounds terrible, like repetitive and tedious to you, then it's probably not a good pick because that's a lot of it. You do a lot of that. I mean, you know that.
Right. And this is a series on the 3DS.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. Hopefully, it'll come to Switch with the next incarnation because this game just came out.
That would be cool.
Switch would be really good, but we'll see.
So wait, Paul, do you really think more people have played an Animal Crossing game than a Harvest Moon style game?
I mean,
I think so.
I think so. I haven't looked at sales numbers. I mean, Harvest Moon's been around a lot longer, like probably twice as long.
Considering the sales of those games in Japan, like, yeah, I would think so.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there was an Animal Crossing game that was released last year. It was this board game, and I heard it was fantastic.
Well, you're not talking about the Amiibo one.
Yeah, I am. Amiibo Festival. I heard it was just top notch. Animal Crossing is a
Oh no,
a blemishless series.
Well, it was up until that point.
Well, let's not. I don't think City Folk was very good either. But let's not talk about bad.
What
games.
about Happy Home Designer?
Oh shit!
I didn't play that, but I did
Are
hear.
there any good Animal Crossing games?
That's the real question.
Are there any good ones?
So far, we've said a lot of bad
Wild
ones.
World was fantastic.
Yeah, no, there definitely are good ones.
Wild World was really good on the original DS.
New Leaf was really good on 3DS.
New Leaf was really good. I mean, those were the two that I've played.
Yeah, but no, I definitely think Animal Crossing sold. I mean, overall, hit more people. I think I think Harvest Moon has sold more copies total. Maybe if you add up all the different games in the series, just because there's so many.
Because the people who play those keep playing them.
Right, the same people keep buying. Like I've bought every one since Harvest Moon 64. Like that's probably like 12
What
games.
changes? You can now grow potatoes in this game.
Don't worry about that. That's not.
The main things that change in those games are like the farming system usually changes a little bit, and the animal system changes a little bit. But the big thing that changes are the bachelors and bachelorettes.
Well, the villagers in general. The villagers in general change.
So it's like Madden, where you buy it every year to get a new roster of people to marry.
It's like
if you could have sex with everyone in Madden, yes. That would probably. I mean, I would be more interested in Madden. Wait, hold on.
Like, if you had sex with the ref, would he like throw calls for you? It's like, oh, that wasn't a foul. Wink.
I don't know. You should call EA. Call EA. You got a $1 million ID here. Let's shut this podcast down so no one ever finds out.
That's right.
All right.
All right. Well, let's move on. Mike, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of this new Harvest Moon style game. It's called. I forgot what it was. No, I've been playing a lot of Zelda.
Okay.
Because of course I have. Who the hell hasn't been playing Zelda?
Right.
I've been playing a lot of a little game called Nier Automata, or if you're Yoko Taro and the other half of the internet, Nier Automata.
And
then I've been playing a lot of this little game called Overwatch that came out last year.
It did come out last year.
It did come out last year.
And it's still really good.
Well, yeah, that's fair, I guess.
Okay.
No, I've been playing a lot of good shit. A lot of good games.
There are a lot of good games out right now.
Too many.
Yes, I would almost agree.
No, you know what? I forgot. In addition to all those wonderful good games that we've been playing, I've also been playing Wildlands, a game that's not as good and might be, let's say, maybe more forgetful than a game that came out last year.
Ooh.
Oops.
Ooh.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay.
What? I mean,
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess.
I'm surprised. I didn't expect this level of shit talking on Wildlands.
I mean, I enjoy it, but okay.
like, I enjoy Wildlands the same reason, like, because it's a game that we play together.
Right.
I would enjoy Uno if we played it together.
Right.
I wouldn't want to play Uno alone.
Right.
Although I have been playing Wildlands alone, only so that I'm
no.
better.
Oh no!
But it's only so that I can truly enrich myself in the narco state fiction that Ubisoft has presented to me.
In not Bolivia, correct?
And not Bolivia. We're gonna call it not Bolivia, because if you call it Bolivia like they do in the game, Bolivia gets mad. So it's not Bolivia. It's fake. It's a fake Bolivia. It's a fake Bolivia full of narcos that want to do you harm. So instead, you shoot everybody, and you steal all their food and all their radio waves and all their pills and shit.
How do you steal radio waves?
I put a little robot thing inside of the box.
Ah.
Now my gun does 40% more damage to cars. That's just how the military works.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
How do you think America always wins its wars? Except for that one.
Yeah, come on. Wars are won. It's the power of radio. Which you can now disable in the latest one's update.
Oh yeah, they did do
For
that.
those of you out there with bad taste.
Oh.
What? If there's one thing I'm going to defend in Wildlands, it's going to be the radio.
The radio's pretty good.
I'd see. Opposing. I don't agree.
Oh.
There's a real submersible they're working on. It's not just one of them floaters.
What?
Maybe you have not listened to the radio as often as you claim you have.
I guess not. I mean, I mainly just listen to the tunes. I don't really pay attention when we're talking.
Well,
anyway,
I can't listen to the radio over all the really good dialogue.
Really good dialogue
between the ghosts. All the ghosts have some really rock solid dialogue between each other.
Since we're talking about this,
let's do it.
Let's go ahead and why is Wildlands the game of the year?
Oh, okay, that's gonna be you're taking that side, correct?
No,
because there's cocaine. There's motorcycles.
Okay.
Your characters are very informative. When you get on a motorcycle, you let everyone know.
It's true. I'm on a motorcycle, he says.
Yeah, you don't want your teammates to be like, what happened? What's he on? Oh, a motorcycle, of course.
So, Well, it's very clear that you and Paul don't think this is a good game.
No, I wouldn't say that. Okay, I guess it depends. It depends on if you say games are good or bad. I wouldn't say this is a bad game. I would say this is it's a middling kind of average. It's an average third-person shooter, first-person shooter that I'm gonna forget in a couple months.
Really bad timing, in my opinion, too. I just feel like it came out. Well, for one, it came out within like 5 years of Overwatch.
5 years?
So
Yeah.
that kind of screwed it. But aside from that, it just.
Ooh, now that's an idea.
Uh-oh.
What if all the ghosts in Wildlands were Overwatch characters?
Yeah, and then you just condense the big Bolivia down into these maps, make it a PvP multiplayer game, 6-on-6.
No, keep it big, keep it open world. But the enemies, they're not narcos anymore. Now they're the Omnics. And it's a 4-player co-op squad shooter that tells the story of the Overwatch
It's a prequel.
times.
Are you saying there's a crisis?
I'm saying there's a crisis.
Like an Omnic crisis?
An Omnic crisis.
Oh,
and you spend 40 hours with your 4 best friends shooting all the bastions you could shoot.
Oh no.
You murder that stupid robot until it's dead forever. And then the last cutscene is you standing on top of a pile of dead bastions. And you, or as Tracer, because one of you is always Tracer, says, "We did it, love." And then it plays all the cinematics that they put out before Overwatch came out, and then it tells you to buy Overwatch instead. But if you beat the game, you get a skin for Overwatch.
Oh.
What's crazy is that would make Ghost Recon better.
It's true.
I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible game. Like I said, I think it's a really bad timing, in all fairness. I just think there's a lot of better games coming out right now. And
those games always have a shelf life anyway of like a couple months, and then they're already outdated.
What?
Yeah,
Ghost Recon.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't play Rainbow Six, but like that game came out and
it was good for 3 months. It was good for 3 months.
This is complete. Like Rainbow Six lasted, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
this is a completely different game.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe Ghost Recon will be like that because Rainbow Six did come back. Like no one cared, and then it like I think they have more people playing now than they did at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if that's true,
but
there's no way to ever know if that's true.
This isn't like that at all, though. I don't think. I don't think this game's gonna.
No, the community. It's not that kind of a community.
No.
Like playing with randos in this game is probably bad. I can't. I mean, playing with you guys is dangerous. I can only imagine what.
Well, the reason Rainbow Six lasted is the same reason that it's not directly related, but it's the same reason Overwatch lasts. You go into a map, you do your business, and you do it on a different map.
Gross.
I mean, that's the way. Like Wildlands, it's like, okay, we took out these bosses and we took out the big one. Okay, there's not a whole lot of like crazy fun shit to do in the game. You kind of have to create your own silly moments with all the bugs. But so in that sense, it's just an Elder Scrolls, I guess. But
ooh, shots fired!
Wow, got some Bethesda hate going on.
No, Bethesda hate.
Are you saying Wildlands is a better Elder Scrolls Online than Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited?
Better than Elder Scrolls Online? I would probably say that, yes.
Ooh, you've made Todd Howard very upset.
Elder Scrolls Online is a bad game.
No, it was really good. The 4 hours that I played it before I uninstalled it.
Obviously, it grabbed you.
Right. It was very captivating, and then I just had to say, nope, not for me.
The people that played Elder Scrolls Online, in my limited experience of an hour and a half of playing the open beta with a character named the Dragonborn's bestie shouting in general chat, "Have you guys seen my best buddy, the Dragonborn? He's my buddy. I love him to death." The community there seemed pretty toxic. They were very hostile to me, and they would not help me find my friend. I hope that has improved.
Oh, man. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, it was a real shame. It put me off MMOs for years.
But now you're back in one, kinda.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, you can say I'm back in too if you want.
Oh, no.
It's not true, but you could say it.
Okay.
That's right. Got that RuneScape addiction coming back.
So to conclude our Wildlands talk, so neither of you said it's a bad game.
No, it's not bad. It's like
He
middling.
also
It's
didn't say it
average.
was good
Okay.
either.
It's not
The
good.
controls are good. The AI is not like completely ridiculous.
When I push the buttons, the man does a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels good. Like I think it actually does feel pretty good too. Like
I agree.
the bases are set up like they're not all like the same. It's not like they took a base and like cut it out and plopped it down in like 27 places. But
You can really customize your fun murder hobo.
Yeah.
Make him look like whatever you want, and you don't have to spend $750 to do it.
Oh jeez.
yeah. So I mean, there's definitely pros.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you've got friends to play it with, like playing with you guys is fun. I don't know how you're bringing yourself to play it by yourself.
I have
awful.
not done that.
I get in a helicopter and fly to where it says the weapon is, and then I jump out of the helicopter, grab it, and die. So it checkpoints me back where my helicopter was. And then I repeat this process until I've obtained all weapons and all skills.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
I bought
It's
this
the
game
best thing I've ever done.
for the exclusive reason of playing with people. Like I had no intention.
So you got what you expected, basically.
Not quite.
funny.
I thought it was going to be better. I will say that. I thought from especially from last year's E3.
You thought there was going to be more Imagine Dragon than the game.
Right. No,
More friction to fight.
the 2 years that we've seen this at E3 before release, I had pretty high hopes for this game. I thought it looked like a lot of fun. I thought it looked like a multiplayer Ghost Recon Just Cause, like
A multiplayer Far Cry, you might say.
kinda, but it's not that. It's kind of something less. I still think it's very fun. I've had a really good time actually.
Kind of ridiculous too, because it's actually easier in single player because your AI companion
Right.
can just instantly shoot up to 3 people from across the map without
Right,
worrying
and just
about
rinse,
line of
repeat
sight.
until you win.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's dumb. But it's also, this game is, if you didn't have that by yourself, like winging it lone wolf, that would be really hard. Because even when it's just me and you, like some of the bases are pretty tough.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing, is that when you're playing it in co-op, but not full co-op, there's only 2 of you, you get half the firepower the game expects you to have, so you just get to die forever.
Yeah. But I don't think I would want to play with the AI. Like,
Right. And you wouldn't want them to scale the bases down, would you?
absolutely not.
So
No. They're still doable, they're just harder.
I would play with the AI, but only if you disabled sync shot. So that meant that they were basically just there to occasionally shoot a dude and to revive people.
That's fair. I think I'd be okay with that.
And then you just save sync shot for co-op stuff.
Yeah.
Or single player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be fine with that. All right, so we've concluded that it's not a bad game, but it's a kind of good game if you're playing with friends.
You shouldn't buy it, though. You should buy other good games.
There are
give it a
much better
read.
games to buy. Yes, I would agree.
such as
Well, we can get into other games, but we still haven't asked Wrath what he's playing, or Jason.
Yes.
So what have you been playing?
Well, I'm not as cool and hip as you guys. I'm not playing the current games. I'm still a filthy pleb, and I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 still.
Okay.
It's great. I play about 4 other games besides that, but 14 is winding down a little bit, getting a little boring. I pretty much play the market board when I log in, and then if I don't play that, I got renewed interest in playing Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition, like modding the stuff.
Okay.
I still play Fallout 4. I'm still modding and playing.
Oh, you're
with that
playing
as
that? I didn't know you were
stuff.
playing that.
I started, but I'm not didn't beat the game or anything.
Hmm.
And I play Witcher 3 still. That's still a fun game for me. I still haven't beat the other 2 expansions.
such a good game.
Yeah, I know. And then the last game I play, and I'm super excited because it used to be a board game, but I'm pretty sure you all played it too. Is Risky Settlers, Knights and Allies of Lord Dominion of Earth Pandemic PC Edition. So
Oh my
Oh,
god,
who
I love
hasn't?
that
Great
game.
I mean, if you haven't played that
I mean,
game,
I think we've all can agree that's pretty much the best game that's ever been created. So yeah,
I'm pretty
Risky
sure in all
Settlers.
top 10 lists across the board, critically, that's
Right.
number one.
No pun intended there, right, Jimmy?
Right.
Across the board. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm doing. Just pretty much, float around those games till I can hook up with you guys and start playing, kicking some fools, narcos, kill some narcos.
Oh, Narcos, baby. There's an expansion coming out for one of those games you're playing soon.
Is it Risky Settlers, Knights and Allies of the Lords of Dominion of Earth, Pandemic PC Edition?
Oh no, we don't know when that's coming. They keep teasing us about. Yeah, I mean.
Right. Okay.
But I think it was that Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that is coming out in like 3 more months.
June.
We can all be red mages. Yay!
So I'm the only person here who doesn't play that game. What
are lucky.
Is this right? It sounds like a terrible disease, but
it is.
What is this expansion doing? Like, is it something for people that have been playing a lot? Like, is it something that would make would a new person be able to get into any of this content?
I think it's for
you
both.
will. It's just like all the new content. You'll like it for about 3 weeks, and then you'll get really sick of it and do nothing afterwards. But no, but it's supposed to be really good expansion. I mean, they're adding new stuff that I think people who haven't played in a while. I know Jimmy played 1.0 and was. I mean, you've seen the game evolve, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I think you'll see new stuff in the expansion that, hopefully will blow your mind. I'm excited about it.
I think this expansion is for both new and old, honestly.
And new old, yeah. I think they're gonna bridge the gap between experienced players and non-experienced players. The filthy plebs that get on, and the hardcore tryhards. So.
I mean, they haven't given us details. I mean, they are changing that battle system, so it's supposedly going to be easier on the people that aren't complete pros at the game.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
It's true. But it sounds more like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Paul, it sounds like your question is more, if I've never played Final Fantasy 14 before, should I care about this expansion coming out?
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
it's you've probably played WoW before. I mean, it's like every time there's an expansion, you're starting from scratch. I mean, everyone's getting boosted in new levels. Gear is irrelevant from the past expansion. So, I mean, yeah, it's always good to pick it up, and you can always have friends catch you up really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the real question I'm asking is, like, if I decided to start playing this game, how long would it be before I could do anything with you guys? Like
anything?
The day?
Like anything meaningful, I guess. Like, how long until I could be doing stuff where you guys aren't
I think
not suffering, but like actively trying to play down to help me.
I think it depends on what they do on release. They've been talking about selling boost potions and maybe giving.
I mean, like WoW did the whole you can just have a character max. Like, buy the game, we'll max.
Right.
That was
the
pretty
friend
late
thing
in
too,
the
right?
game, though. That was
the friend boost thing where you could boost your friend by half his levels.
Yeah,
like
you would give him your levels or something weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was a weird system where it was like, if you and a friend were in a party and got XP together, you could gain levels even if you were at like max level, and then you could give those levels to your friend. Essentially, it was like a weird. It was basically them saying, "We'll give you twice the experience points, but in the most weird way possible."
Well, they're still, like what Jimmy mentioned, they're still talking. I don't think it's definite, but they were talking about offering level boosting packs. I don't know if you have to pay for that or it just comes with it, but you'll be able to boost a job from. Oh, really?
Yeah, like if they base them off the potions currently available, I think it's the Chinese market. They've talked about 2 potions. One will take you to. It takes a job to level 50, but you still have to do the entirety of the story. And one will skip all of the story, I think, up until the first expansion.
Wow, they're finally learning microtransactions. Good for them, Square Enix.
And I want to say both of those came out to approximately $20 to $25 USD.
Wow.
Well, they've said they did it in China because there was a super high demand for it. Like, they just kept getting bombarded with questions about it. They've been kind of getting a negative backlash from it in the West.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been very angry about that they're even talking about it.
Well, that's a dangerous thing to do with
it
the
is.
list.
It could kill the game if they do it
Oh,
wrong.
do you remember the shitstorm a few weeks ago when they made a 280 weapons and everyone else that's doing Savage is doing 275s? They had a huge shitstorm, and
Yeah.
it's like you can't even. That weapon is hard to get, super hard to
It's
get.
hard to get, and it doesn't even have. It might have shitty stats, from what I understand, right? Because it's random.
Did you see the director's response to that at PAX East, I believe, or at PAX East Q&A?
I did not.
Someone asked how he felt about it, and he's like, "You guys shouldn't be that upset. It's the equivalent of going to Las Vegas, finding a quarter on the side of the road, and using that quarter to hit jackpot on a slot machine."
And see, that's what this game is missing, I think. Like, the shit where it's just a super random, awesome drop. That was the kind of shit that was in 11 that just, there was no randomness, but they just made everything super low drop rate. But it made things exciting, and it made you want to work for things. This whole, like, progression system they have in 14 is what completely kills the game for me. I can't stand this, okay, currency, gear. That's all you're doing. You're just doing dungeons to get the currency. If you're really good, you're doing the raids every week. This shit gets boring so fast, and there's no reason to stay in the game.
I mean, I would much rather have that over entire RNG, though. Like, if it's like, oh, you can only get this from a 0.1% drop rate. Congratulations, you're doing this for the next 6 months of your life. Like,
but you can have
both.
I agree with you, Jimmy. Like, they should totally make it like 11, like the D ring, where it drops 2 drop a month, and that's about it. That's how low of a chance it is.
I think there's a happy medium there. I think there's a point where you can have the currency gear is good enough. Like, it's good even. I mean, you can get through the content, but there's really awesome things you can get, kind of at a low drop rate from certain activities, and it keeps people doing activities in the game. They make them really cool looking. They make, so that.
I mean, isn't that basically what the diadem is, though? These 280 weapons are basically that. It's like, please come do this thing,
and that's
you
awesome.
Might get this thing.
Yeah, and it's like a triple RNG. There's so much RNG in that, so it's not like they're just getting handed out.
If I didn't have so many damn games to play right now, I'd totally be in there grinding that shit, because that sounds really awesome to me. I don't know.
See, that's where we differ, because I think the way they handle, like, the rare mounts that can drop, where it's like, oh, it's a real low drop rate, one person might get one, but if you are just the unluckiest person in the world, do this boss 100 times, and you could just buy the mount. I think that is a nice happy medium that I'm way into, because it's like you can still get the cool rare thing if you put the time and effort into it, without having it be like, because there are mounts in WoW. I've played WoW on and off since it launched, and there are mounts that I don't have because the drop rates are just so low. It's like once a week I go and see if I get it this week, and nope, I didn't get it. All right,
Molten Core.
Well,
I mean, that's the mount, like,
locking you out once a week for that. That's a bit much.
That's super harsh.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
The opposite is then I take the time that I've spent over these 10 years and I cram it into a 6-month window, and I never want to play that game again because all I've done for the last 6 months is sit on my computer and try to get this rare drop, right? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing with the loot drops in Final Fantasy XIV as it is now, that I still think I prefer WoW's version over Final Fantasy XIV's. Is the personal loot system that they introduced with WoW, where it's like every character gets a individual role, and you can use items to re-roll on the boss if you didn't get something or try to get a second piece. But you only run it the once. They basically do everything they can to encourage you not to sit there and just spend all of your time running this stuff over and over again and burning yourself out on the content. Which I think is more of a symptom of the fact that Blizzard can't put out content at a pace that Square Enix can. But...
Right. I think so we just differ in, like, opinions of what type of game we want, I guess. And there's so many games like WoW, and there's none like the one I'm describing. I think it's kind of unfair. I mean,
it sounds like the game you're describing is every Korean MMO I've ever been told about.
No.
Just go grind for hours.
To an extent.
Yeah.
But that's a bit different, though.
I don't know. I played some Black Desert Online, and that game's drop rates were terrible. Like you would spend forever farming the same shit.
But they do
Just to
that with
get
just
it
the
to,
normal shit, and I'm not okay
right,
with
like
that.
it's in the overworld, like just to get a weapon that's appropriate for you when you're not even max, like you have to do that. Or go to the cash shop and buy it, which is the other thing Koreans love to do.
Yes. And I
Well,
don't
I know
like
it's
that. I
Buy
don't
their
like that at
things.
all.
I know it sucks, but I've never wanted to play a game where I go fight a boss or something and everyone gets the drop. That's just too. It's like playing like Little League and we're T-ball
Right.
and everyone hits off the T-ball.
If everyone wins, it's not special.
Yeah,
Right.
everyone gets its fucking trophy. I don't want that. I mean, it sucks. I've been through. I played 11 for 15 years. I know what it's like to, I've got just about everything in that game, but I, did it, over and over and over again. But I still choose that method over than any other method. Honestly, I'd rather put in the work with friends and stuff like that and get. It's more fulfilling, I guess. It sucks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's more fulfilling.
I think there's room for
14
both
they do
types
have
of games.
right. In 14 they do have like you were talking about mounts and stuff. But we have a friend who's poor luck. His luck sucks, but he's been doing 99 of those mount runs, and it's just because he can't get the drop, on mounts. So he's getting 99, and I think that's 14's way of compensating, like what you were saying, Mike, about getting a reward even though you're not getting it. And I think it should be less, to be honest.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think it should be a 99. I think that's a little absurd, but I would agree with 20 or 25 or something like that. And I've always thought of a system where if you don't get your piece, you could trade that into an NPC. It's not game breaking at all. And you can say, hey, I have this token, this item has been acquired. Let me trade it in for something that I want instead of something I don't or can't use.
That's fair.
Anyway.
I think honestly what I really want out of MMO is kind of just a mix of everything.
What you want out of MMO is Destiny.
Oh yeah.
Is that game any good?
Oh, Destiny's so good.
Destiny
I'm the
was
only one.
bad,
I'm the
but
only one
good.
here that'll say that.
Right now, yes. You'd asked me before Rise of Iron had launched, I'd have been right there with you. If you'd asked me when Destiny originally launched, I'd have been with you, but with some reservations.
Mm.
But I put enough time in that original Destiny that I could not do the same thing for Rise of Iron. Because Rise of Iron felt like a return to the old school way Destiny was when it launched, instead of the changes that Taken King brought. And I just could not cheerlead for that again. I could not do it. I burnt myself out on that stuff.
Rise of Iron was the only expansion I fully completed. Like I did the hard mode and the challenge raid.
So you haven't fully completed it yet. You got to do, when that book comes out, you've got to do the
Oh.
victory lap.
No.
Because all that stuff counts.
If they were gonna actually give you something in Destiny 2 for that, maybe I might go
They're
back.
give you a T-shirt in real life for 40% off or
No.
whatever.
Yeah.
Take a picture with
Look
the
at-
T-shirt on, and you'll get a title in the tower.
Oh, that stuff's dumb.
They'll just do it like Nintendo does. If you buy the T-shirt, you get a code that unlocks a treasure chest somewhere in Destiny 2 that opens when you open it, gives you a Destiny logo T-shirt.
No, it says Switch on it for some reason.
Right? Yeah. No. It just says Switch.
It's got really good stats though, right?
Switch to Destiny 2.
Oh, God.
Oh well. I mean, MMOs.
Yeah.
They never.
They need to do
Oh.
something new. I
Things
feel
you shouldn't be playing in the year of our Lord 2017. Because come on, y'all.
There's enough games to play, but and they still grab you. Anyway, well, let's move on. Well, I think we should talk about a certain game that's grabbed our hearts pretty tightly.
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. Oh no, Paul.
No, no, Soda Crush.
What?
Apparently, we're
I don't-
transitioning into Candy Crush.
Oh, what's that have to do with me?
So you're the pro Candy Crush
Yeah.
player here.
That's not even true.
You're the most pro out of all of us here, probably in that game.
Probably. I got in the 200s. I'm a big mobile gamer.
Okay,
So-
Paul, what's
Okay,
better?
none of that.
Candy
We're
Crush
not-
or Soda Crush?
Oh God.
See, I don't know. I got
You
out
don't know the
before
difference?
that. I got out
Jesus.
before that. I was
You
out
call
way before
yourself a
that.
big mobile gamer.
I did say that, didn't I?
I personally,
did.
I like Tiny Tower.
Huh?
That's an oldie but a goodie,
Tiny
The
Tower.
2007 again?
Baby.
What?
Yeah.
right?
Tiny Tower was great.
Clash of Clans. I mean,
Oh God. No.
no.
But I was
Netflix app for
referring.
Android.
I was referring to The Legend of Zelda.
Oh yeah,
What's that
The
game
game.
about?
the game.
What do you think of it?
Me?
No, I want to know. I know what Jason thinks.
I mean, I've just been hearing how you guys talk about it.
Oh.
It's the best.
I
Yeah.
want to hear what Jimmy thinks about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jimmy. What do
So
you think?
what like overview or a certain aspect of it?
I want you to tell me two things you love about this game, and one thing that you wish was not in the game at all. It is detrimental to your enjoyment of the game. One thing that if the game didn't have this, it would improve your experience tenfold.
I'm sure Raul not being in the game would have been better.
The two things I love about the game.
Yes.
Okay. I love that it's the one game where, like, every open world game makes the promise. If you see it, you can go there. This is the first time that it's actually been true.
Okay.
Well, it's fun to do it too. Like a lot of those games, you could do it, and it's like, okay, I got here. Whatever.
Like, yeah. I mean, the game is crazy fun to explore. The second thing,
It's got to be that voice acting, right?
no,
Zelda.
no,
She's your favorite, isn't she?
no. Another thing, a second favorite thing from this game. That's tough.
Wow. You love this game, but you can only name one thing that's your favorite?
That doesn't make sense.
Is it because there's so many things to pick from? Is that the problem?
Kinda, in a sense, but not necessarily like a specific thing. If I had to choose like another thing that I really liked about the game, probably would be the dungeons.
Okay.
The dungeons or
The
dungeons
puzzles?
or the shrines?
Probably all of it.
Okay.
Shrines and dungeons together, like the puzzles aspects of the game.
The more structured parts of the game.
Yes.
So basically, you like the open, free-form nature of go anywhere, do anything, and you like the
And they sprinkle
handcrafted,
out,
tailored.
they sprinkle out these things that you can go do that are, feel very well built and well designed in such a way where not all of them you necessarily have to complete in the way they were designed. That part of it is great.
One thing I will say about it is that's true. Like you play, like you're talking about playing Skyrim before, Jason, and like
Yeah.
I think we've all played Bethesda open world games here,
Mhm.
right?
No.
When you break, when you do things in an unintended way in one of those games, it's super obvious. Like the game gets really
Mad
breaks
at
it.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, it gets mad at you. The animation doesn't look right. Like the whole thing just kind of falls apart. I feel like when you're playing Breath of the Wild and you have a stupid fucking ball puzzle where you have to guide a ball through a maze using the gyroscope inside your controller, and you just flip the maze over and roll it across. Spoilers on on an easy way to do that.
Oh,
I
jeez.
did it legit,
Sorry.
by the way.
Well,
kinda.
okay.
Kinda.
But even doing it not legit, like it never feels like the game. The game never. It's like the game's like, yeah, I didn't think you'd do it that way, but I'm ready for it. Like,
Cool.
yeah, it never acts like you shouldn't have done that. Like, oh, shame on you. Like I feel like Bethesda games will. I mean, sometimes they just hard crash when you do things they don't expect you to do.
The amount of times you play that game and you say to yourself, "Wait, that actually works?"
Right.
Like it happens so many times. Like whether I'm doing it or I see something online, like It's like, holy shit, I'm 80 hours in this game. I didn't even know this was a thing, but it seems so simple.
Right.
What,
And it
like-
never feels like slapdash or broken. Like it always feels like you're like, there's no way Nintendo thought of this, but
Or
the
did
way
they?
they built the
Or
way they
did
built
they?
Have.
well, not necessarily. If they built it right, I mean, I imagine things could just work together. I don't know.
I mean, they did have a lot of years to make this game.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really wonder, like,
did they have a lot of years to remake this game?
right?
You know, I didn't ask you guys. Does that game have any rails like on the countryside, or can you fall off on bridges and stuff?
Oh,
there-
I mean,
Yeah.
It's all okay.
yeah. I mean,
Well, you always got your handy dandy paraglider with you,
Right.
Like,
or
it's
your
actually
handy dandy teleport to a shrine with you.
right. That's true. Like you could be falling off a mountain, about to die before you hit the ground, and an instant before you touch down and lose all your health, you could pause the game, go to the map screen, and just teleport away.
Yep.
Other than Dark Souls, I haven't played a game like that in a while, where you could just, go anywhere and not fall off, or you can fall off and go venture at your own risk. I like that.
Well, in that sense, it's a very open world, and contrary to like Dark Souls, where you're like going to certain areas type deal.
Mhm.
Like this is just one giant sandbox with like buildings to go in that are that type of deal.
Speaking of Bethesda open world RPGs, it's like Fallout New Vegas, a game not made by Bethesda.
Published.
Where
Count it.
they tell you, oh, you should go to this place, and they give you the path you're supposed to go. But if you want to, you could just go straight to New Vegas. You can wander into the like Deathclaw filled whatever hellscape place, and just get one shot by Deathclaws for the next hour and a half of your life. Like they encourage you on a path. They're like, you should go here and go this way to get there, but you don't have to. You could go the opposite end of the world if you want.
I think one problem in that regard, in the way they designed that
Oh,
aspect.
is this your least favorite?
No.
Okay.
Just say that one.
I'll
Really fast.
I'll transition to that after this.
Okay.
One thing I think that is a negative in the game in that regard, in terms of telling you what you're supposed to do. It tells you to go beat the game right away.
That's I love that so much.
I have no problem with that at all. I mean, we all know
true.
that's like you're
That's
like,
the
go kill
objective.
Ganon. Do it.
You're here to kill Ganon. Go kill Ganon.
Yes and no. I mean, for us, it's like we know that no, you're not going to do
Listen,
that.
if you don't know, you find out pretty quick.
Yes, but you got to remember, children are really good at video games.
This is someone's first Zelda
This
game.
is someone's for Zelda, so we should give them an hour and a half of tutorial first.
See, no, I love that.
every other Zelda
I'm not
game.
saying I am not advocating for a tutorial at all.
I know.
I'm
It
just.
sounds like you might be advocating for tutorial.
I
No,
think
it sounds like he's advocating for a more stricter quest log.
I think it would have been better if the king had suggested, maybe you should go see this old lady.
He does suggest it.
But as in like the actual quest line, instead of
Like
go
don't
defeat
say,
Ganon.
Don't say both. Don't mention both.
Yeah, because he mentions both. I think what you're saying is you'd rather he doesn't mention go defeat Ganon. He instead just says go see Impa, and then Impa
Like
tells
talk
you to go
about
beat
it,
Ganon.
but I don't think you should like put it in like the quest log.
I don't know.
Like,
think-
yeah, you want to go beat Ganon, and if you want this, you can tell pretty quickly that this game is built. You could go do that if you wanted.
True.
But like, don't tell like the new, like the 5 or the 6-year-old who's just getting into the Legend of Zelda, like, okay, go do this. Like,
Could you even beat it though?
Oh yeah, the speed runs in 50
Whoa.
minutes. Like,
Yeah,
the
but do
speed
you
runs
think
go
a
on it.
6-year-old who's never played this game before? is
maybe.
gonna, I mean, I know they're good at games, but are they dumb
No.
enough to think that this is the whole game?
Okay, the way I see it, the 6-year-old that picks this game up gets the quest, go beat Ganon, go talk to Impa, and goes, I'll go beat Ganon, I guess, and then is actually able to go through the entirety of that ending sequence and then sees credits, is going to be like, what the fuck happened? Go to the internet and be like, oh, you should play like the rest of the game.
Yeah, the internet's a thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's true.
It wasn't like that back in our day.
No, it was
No.
not.
Not like
I
when we
wasn't
were
taking that into
6 and
account.
it was like, oh, I beat this game. I'll go to school and tell all the kids about how this shitty Zelda game came out worth 15 minutes of gameplay.
Back when we only had Game Genie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had a friend with a Game Genie. I never had a Game Genie.
I never had a. I
Sure,
never had
everyone had a
a.
Game Genie.
I had
I
a
never
Game
had a.
Shark.
I never had
Game
a Sega
Shark.
console.
I had a Game Shark that came with a VHS tape telling me how to hack an N64.
Jeez.
Oh God.
You just push the button, and then you type in the codes, and then you push the button again, and eventually you find the memory location for Mario's health bar, and then boom, you can now beat Super Mario 64 without needing any health.
And for anyone listening, he's just kidding about hacking into something. So
It's true. Only dirty Game Shark people would hack.
That's right. But as promised, my least favorite thing about Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, it would be Zelda herself.
Ooh.
yeah, her outfit, terrible, right?
Now, is it the entirety of the character as the character is written? Is it the voice acting? Is it the design? Or is it literally a combination of everything?
I was trying to really pinpoint it the other night after I beat it. Because that night I beat it, I got most of the Zelda interaction. Because I hit all the story points, basically.
You saved all the story for the end.
A lot of it, yeah. I was having a really difficult time figuring out if it was just one thing. The biggest thing is definitely her voice acting. I will say that. The English voice acting in this game in general, I think, is not good.
Link, the blood moon rises again.
God,
oh my God! Is
man,
that a
every
sound
time.
clip? Did someone
Link,
put a?
Link, the blood moon. I mean, it's just. It feels like she didn't take it seriously. Like, oh, I'm in a video game.
Oh, the voice actress. I thought you meant the character. I was going to say, yeah, that's kind of the point of her arc.
No, it's just
Spoilers.
It was really,
Not that big.
really, really, really annoying every time she talked.
I'm assuming she redeems herself in the end, right? Like I'm gonna really.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely, yes.
Haven't beaten it yet, so I was really looking. So I shouldn't even want to save her.
Absolutely not. The whole.
Is there a way to let Ganon have her and then still save Hyrule?
I mean, I don't want to say too much because I'm sure.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
If someone's listening to this like recently,
sure.
like within the next few weeks, I don't want to spoil like story stuff. It's just I don't think I like her character in general. I think she's kind of annoying if you just take it at the text level, and the way she acts with Link. They do a certain.
Can I ask a question that might seem a bit odd?
Okay, go ahead.
After getting all the memories, did you go back and watch them in order because they are listed in chronological order in your menu, or did you only watch them as you unlocked them?
So here's what I did. The only memories I had unlocked, I had one memory unlocked that was Zelda, and I had the ones you get from doing the dungeons. So I only had like 5 of them. I went and got them in order, and the one
the order in the menu.
The order in the menu. I got number 1, number 2, number 3. I did them in order because I used a guide as well to find them. So I did watch it in order, and the one Zelda one I had, I remembered beat for beat, so I didn't watch it again. And I didn't really need to watch the dungeon ones again because I still remembered what those were as well. So I watched her character evolve, based on those story beats.
Like that hit 2K game.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. It felt like a certain anime trope character that I really don't like in multiple ways. Like little facets of a few. And it felt like that what happened because she was Zelda, not because they were writing a good character, if that makes sense.
I'm interested in going deeper into this with you. I should mention too. I'm not suggesting that you didn't watch the cutscenes in order, so you didn't understand the fullness of the story or whatever. Like I don't want that to. Like that's not what I meant. I was just curious.
I understand exactly what happened. I just don't like the way that she developed
Like, I'm interested in having this conversation with you, but I think we should save it for later because, like you said, I don't want to spoil anything.
That's
And
fine.
going
Yeah.
into that, I think I'd start spoiling stuff if we talked about it.
And I don't want to
But
spoil things either. It's just,
yeah.
that's just how I feel about it. I really liked. I really wish that they had kind of gone off rails and made a certain other character more involved in the way they tried to shoehorn that in.
You can't kiss Sidon. It's Japanese.
The prince is best boy.
Prince is best boy. But does that mean you can marry the prince? I'm sorry. The Zora just don't truck with that.
I know. But yeah, I mean that's really how I feel about that whole situation in general. But to back off of that, I do want to ask, do you think this game would be as good if it didn't have Zelda in the title?
It was called The Legend of Link: Breath of the Wild.
If it was not a Zelda game.
So take away all the Zelda
Take
stuff.
away all the Zelda stuff, which in my opinion there's really not that much. Take away that stuff. Is this still like deserving of all the 10 out of 10s this game got?
Depends. Is all the music still Zelda remixes?
Probably not.
Dang.
Is it still good?
The music's still good.
Is the music still good? Because if we're replacing the music with, well, in all fairness, there's not a lot of music in this
That's
game.
a whole different topic, and I do want to talk about that.
I really like the music in this game because it's the times it chooses to use music and the times it chooses not to.
The whole 5 minutes of music in the game was good.
So,
yeah.
So you like
really good music. I listen to Sidon's theme on YouTube whenever I'm bored. Like,
do you feel like the absence of music actually makes it like more? Do you actually feel like that does add to the music by taking
a little
it
bit?
away
Like
most of the time.
I think it's the little stuff, right? It's like when you're out in the wilderness and you're approaching a town, the music changes depending on what time of day it is, the weather and stuff. Like, when you approach, like when you go to do the Divine Beasts, the big dungeons, after not having done anything like them for 40 hours, and this big swelling orchestral soundtrack kicks in. I think it's very nice. It's very good, and I don't know if you'd have that same feeling if you had that music all the time, but I mean, I think that's just a personal taste thing. Like, I think I like its use of just atmospheric sounds and stuff, and I think that if it was just soundtrack all the time, you wouldn't really get that stuff. But then again, I've also been playing Nier, and that's got music at you all the time, and that soundtrack is amazing too. So, but to answer your question, Jimmy, I think what would happen if Nintendo still put this game out, it was exactly the same except all the Zelda stuff was changed.
Not necessarily Nintendo, just anybody.
Anybody. See, because that's where I think it'll get different. Because if Nintendo puts this out, and it's like no references to any of the Zelda stuff, but everything is the same quality, I think it still gets the praise it gets. But then the narrative becomes less Nintendo brought Zelda back to its roots, and more Nintendo put out an amazing new IP. Sort of like the praise Horizon's been getting, where it's like, I can't believe that the team that made, what did they make? They made that like World War I shooter with aliens or whatever. They made Resistance or something, right?
No, Killzone.
Killzone.
No, Killzone. That's what it is. Yeah. So like the same reaction they got, where it's like, oh, the team that made Killzone brought you this big open world, like not necessarily survival, but that style of gameplay, like completely out of left field. No one expected it. It's a new IP and everything. I think it would still get that style of praise. I still think it would be, people would consider it that good. I don't know if it would be getting 10s everywhere, but I think it would still be getting 9s at least.
Okay. Paul, what do you think?
I mean, I agree. I think that, I mean, the game, so I'm ashamed to admit that my Zelda history, like my attachment to Zelda stuff is pretty low. Like, I had an SNES growing up, like, I was a Nintendo guy until PlayStation 2, and then I kind of switched over. But like, even then, I didn't have, like, I've still never played A Link to the Past.
You played 2, right?
I've never played Zelda 2. I've never played the original Zelda.
In your defense, you did play the basically Link to the Past sequel.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Is I played A Link Between Worlds and thought it was really fun. Like I thought it was really really good. So like my Zelda cred is literally Link Between Worlds, Twilight Princess,
Oh
which
God.
everyone says is a terrible Zelda. I enjoyed it. So apparently I've got bad
Not
taste.
everybody
or...
says it's terrible. It's very split.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's got really good dungeons. It's just really samey.
See, it's not samey to me because I also I never really played
Oh.
Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
So like a
I
lot like
think that
everyone's
I
like
think that's fine, to be honest.
How do you know
everyone's
how to
Zelda
Z-target?
touchstone. Right. I didn't. This game was hard for me. No.
I'm sorry.
No, I figured it. They believe it or not, Twilight Princess has a short tutorial that only takes about 12 hours to get through to teach you everything. So
And then if you're playing it on Wii, it doesn't work.
It doesn't
Right.
work.
right. Just all you have to do is jiggle the
Shield
nunchuck
bash.
and
Shield bash does not work in that game if you're playing on Wii.
If you're playing
Yeah.
on Wii, don't save it in the Canon Observatory. Otherwise, you can't load your save and use the
Oh,
Canon or leave.
yeah,
And
I
it's bugged,
forgot.
and you got to send your game to Nintendo.
Oh,
Why do I
God.
remember this?
Maybe because it
dark-
happened to
dark
you?
Chapters,
It didn't
dark
happen to me. I was warned
Oh.
about it ahead of time, but
Gotcha.
ugh.
But
I
no,
remember
I mean,
that
I guess what
happening.
I'm saying is I don't have any Zelda nostalgia. So like, just speaking from my own perspective, I still think this game is really, really good. Like, and I don't have any reason for it. Like, there's no reason that it being a Zelda game influences me positively. It doesn't really influence me in any way. So, like, from my own perspective, yeah, I think it would be just as good if it was a new IP. I think the story would probably get, like, the fact that there is so little story in the game, like, it's so hard to come by, I guess. Like it's
Yeah.
hidden. You have to seek it out. And even if you add it
It's
all up,
literally it's literally a collectible in the game.
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Go
stories that
collect the
take-
story. Yeah.
Right, right. It's like audio logs the game only with like some video. So
Video
it's
logs the game.
video logs the game. There you go. So I feel like a new IP would probably get a lot more shit for that because people would be like, how is it like an
Definitely,
IP has to
yeah.
have like an IP has to have some kind of creativity, like a soul. And if you release this with no like no one's like, oh, I remember that from that other Zelda game or whatever. Like, oh, that's Impa. Oh, that's such and such. Like, if you didn't have that, then a lot of this stuff wouldn't be landing at all. Like,
Well, to counter that point, I mean, what about a game like Minecraft?
no, I'm not saying it'd be a bad game. I'm saying it would get a lot more shit for its lack of narrative. Like,
Okay.
people
you're
would
speaking
say,
just directly from critics and stuff.
yeah, I'm saying
Okay.
people would say this game doesn't have much of a story, and that's okay. It's still a fantastic game, but like, I don't know that you could launch an IP like Horizon. I have it. I haven't started it yet, but like Horizon, from what I understand, has maybe a little too long of a prologue, like a
Yeah.
tutorial.
Oh, you've
section.
played it.
I have not. No, I'm saying from what I've heard,
Okay.
but like everything I'm seeing online and from critics, like everyone's saying that the story in that game is a huge payoff. Like they didn't expect it to be a huge payoff, and the story was a huge payoff. And you don't hear anybody saying that about Zelda. They'll say the premise about Zelda is cool. Like what a cool premise for a Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
But no one's like, oh man, the story in this game is so good. Like literally, even people that love this game aren't saying that. So if you tried to make this a new IP with no Zelda trappings, to talk from the other side of it, I guess, I just think people would bring that up more. People would care more that there's not much there.
I in terms of like story, there's not much, but I think this is the most interesting Zelda story that's ever been told.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
I think this and Wind Waker are probably the two most interesting Zelda stories.
I don't know. The Wand of Gamelon had a pretty good story.
The what?
The Wand of Gamelon?
He's roboting at the same point.
I
every
know.
time. They don't want the world to know.
Nintendo won't let my message escape.
He's just editing it out. He's doing good.
That was the
You can't
that was-
silence me, Jimmy.
No, it's Nintendo. They're copyright flagging the podcast already, and it's not even
Damn
recorded.
it.
Were you joking
Yeah.
or being serious about something?
He was being funny.
Okay.
I was being funny. I was
Okay.
suggesting that the Wand of Gamelon.
Oh my god!
You
does it
keep
do it every
roboting at
time?
the same moment.
How does it do it every time?
That's it. I'm done. Breath of the Wild has the best Zelda story ever made.
See, now you're finally
Crystal
towing the party
clear.
line.
Now, I do want to touch back on the soundtrack. I'm kind of in the opposite field of Link.
Mike?
Yes, sorry, Mike. For everyone listening, Link is Mike's game handle.
Yeah, and
We'll
before
get
anyone,
we'll get better at this.
Yes.
Before I look in the comments, I want you to know it's named after the character in The Matrix who piloted the Nebuchadnezzar.
Oh.
I thought
Not related to
Mike,
The Legend of Zelda at all.
I thought Mike was his game handle, and Link was his real name.
He wishes.
God.
Wom.
But anyway,
If you can solve this R, you can discover the truth.
if I didn't choose, this is gonna come out wrong, and I'll explain it. But if I didn't choose Zelda as the worst part of Breath of the Wild,
Oh my god.
it would be the soundtrack.
That's fair.
What don't you like about it?
So here's my issue with the soundtrack. I don't feel as strongly about it as Mike does. But I do like what's there. I think it's fine. I think it's one of the weaker Zelda soundtracks. And
Sound rushed to you?
It didn't sound rushed. I just don't think it's as good as and as memorable as some of the other
Jimmy
games.
hates pianos.
No, piano, my second favorite instrument.
He's like, oh god, they got pianos
Right behind
in the soundtrack.
saxophone.
No, right behind the
Saxophone.
no.
How do you even play a stringed sax? Are you just flossing it the entire time?
No, I'm blanking on
My favorite instrument is one I can't think of the name
The
of.
ukulele,
no,
the cello,
no,
the
Ukulele.
theremin.
Are we changing topics?
no,
Oh, never.
Is it a flute?
no.
That
It's
rare-
it's
that
a
rare
piano-like instrument, but it has a very
Rare-
specific sound.
Oh, the piano.
No,
Organ?
No,
Organ trail.
damn it.
Synthesizer.
No,
Keyboard.
no. I'll think about it later.
Gaming.
Xylophone?
The Razor Death Adder.
If you know any other instruments that are like a piano, email us at
Oh God, you're roboting so hard. mmmPodcast@gmail.com. Anyway, the lack of music in that game really bothered me. The amount of times that there's no music, I wanted it so bad, because I'll probably touch on this later in a later segment we're doing, but like, music is probably 50% of the game to me, in general. It always has been, and I felt this game was really weak in that area. I just kept the entire time I was playing it for more than like an hour, it would kind of break, and I'd be like, "Where's the damn music? This is a Zelda game. The music's incredible. Why is there nothing here for 80 of my 100 hours?" Like,
That's fair.
It was just I just at the end of my playthrough, that's my biggest, like, I felt a void. That I wanted it so bad and I didn't get it. But everything else in that game is awesome. It's an incredible game. I wouldn't give it a perfect score, but it's one of the best games I've played in the past.
You give it a 9.9?
No.
9.8.
0.8?
I would give it a 9. If I was doing a 10-point scale, I'd give it a 9.
What if you were doing a 100-point scale?
And that'd be a 90, wouldn't it?
No, because it could be a 9.0.
That's all we have.
But I also think I didn't really get to touch on this part of it either. I think the Zelda themes are secondary to the game itself. I think the game would be almost as good, not quite as good, but almost as good as it is without any of the Zelda stuff. Paul, you touched on what Zelda games you've played.
Uh-huh.
Has everyone else here played most of the major Zelda titles?
I played 2
Okay.
vigorously, and then I played the later games, Ocarina of Time, and that's about it.
Okay. So you've played through Ocarina, basically.
Right.
Okay. Mike?
The only Zelda title that I haven't played that isn't the weird ass CDI games is Skyward Sword.
Okay.
Now, are you counting all the mobile and like all the Game Boy?
I'm counting all the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy
That's
Advance.
impressive. I
yeah.
haven't played all of those.
Nice.
I've played every major Zelda release and some of the kind of side releases on mobile devices. Well, Mike, me and you are the only ones that have beaten Breath of the Wild.
We're gonna rank the Zeldas here.
Oh my god, are you gonna do a
Top
ranking of
3
Zeldas?
Zeldas.
Top 3 would be good. Is Breath of the Wild in your top 3?
Is Breath of the Wild in my top 3 Zelda games? See, now it's an interesting question because I don't know if I would ever replay it because it took me 100 hours to beat it.
Same, 115 here.
I could replay any other Zelda game. I could probably replay 3 Zelda games in the time it took me to play through all of Breath of the Wild.
Maybe a little more than that, actually.
I would say, yes, probably. Although if you ask me again in a month, my answer might be different.
Okay.
Because I have spent so much time so recently with that thing that it's still so fresh and so new.
Well, I'll ask you this
but
then.
I'll tell you this much: I wouldn't call it number 1.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask. At this moment, you wouldn't give it number 1.
No, if it's in my top 3, I think I would put it 3rd, maybe.
Okay.
It's in my top 3. I don't know if you guys.
You've only played 3.
I need to know what your top 1 is.
What did you ask?
I need to know what Paul's number 1 is.
Oh, yeah.
Majora's Mask.
Probably this game, honestly. Probably Breath of the Wild. It's I mean, I think Link Between Worlds was really, really good, but this is more my kind of game because it's less of a Zelda game. So, if that makes any sense, like open world adventures are more my. I prefer that. So
I would see this being your favorite Zelda game if you played all of them.
Probably.
Just knowing you.
You don't know me.
Oh, I know you. I know you real well.
Yeah. How many people can I romance in the other Zelda games?
I haven't played.
Because there's at least 2 girls that are into me in this one.
An equal number, probably.
I know I haven't played them all, but if I could just predict, I would choose this one overall, just because I like nostalgia and all, but I like more advanced things, and if this game's modern, I'd probably like it a lot better.
You said you were playing
like
Elder Scrolls and Fallout 4. Like, this is totally in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
What about you, Jimmy?
Me, it would be 3rd.
Really?
What are you guys? What are your number 1s and 2s?
My number 1.
Leave us in suspense.
My number 1 is Wind Waker, and my number
1
2
is probably not Link Between Worlds, but Link to the Past.
My number 2 is Link to the Past.
My number 2 is Majora's Mask.
You can get off of this podcast.
Wow.
You can leave.
Uh-oh.
I didn't finish that one, and I know that's bad.
God.
Oh, it's not bad. It's good.
That is one of
Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is
better than Breath of the Wild.
It is. Okay. See, that's the thing. If you ask me later, I might switch those spots, or I might drop Breath of the Wild and keep Majora's Mask up there.
Breath of the Wild might go up, or it might fall off the list entirely.
Totally. Okay. Majora's Mask is to Ocarina of Time as Zelda 2 is to the original Legend of Zelda to me.
That is not fair.
That's not.
Because
that is not fair.
They could have just put out Master Quest for Ocarina of Time. They could have said
they did put out Master Quest.
Right, but they didn't call it a full sequel, right? They said, here's a weird remix thing we did to make the dungeons a little harder or whatever. You can pre-order the game and get it or whatever. It wasn't like, here's the next game after Ocarina of Time.
That's why you like Majora's Mask?
I mean, okay, I love the fact that the characters in that game are so memorable, because the fact that it's on that 3-day loop, you have so much time to get to know those characters.
That drove me nuts.
Imagine if in Breath of the Wild, before the first blood moon, you could hang out with Mipha, and then the blood moon happens and she's gone forever, so you play a song on your ocarina and you get to hang out with her again for a day. And then imagine, after playing that game for about 10 hours, you get to watch, after doing all of her side quests, as she huddles in fear as the world's about to end, and then you get her heart piece because she's in love with you or whatever, and you go back in time and she forgets everything.
But she forgets everything. Like, that'd be horrible. That's
You
like, it's like
remember
one
it.
of those animes
It's
that has the
good.
20 episode loop where it's the same episode every time and they just keep getting it
Listen.
wong.
It'd be like that
Those are
30
like-
First Dates or something.
Those are anime. Those are based off visual novels. They don't count as anime.
Oh my god. It's just, Majora's Mask is in my top 5 worst games of all time.
Ooh, see, that's where you're wrong.
Alright,
you need to get off the podcast.
That's harsh.
Actually,
That as a child, that game was
Okay,
the
hold on,
biggest
hold on, hold on.
disappointment to me.
I need you to tell me every game that's above it.
I don't have them
Because
ranked
there's-
or anything.
okay.
It's-
Let me ask you a separate question. Is there a game that we've talked about on this podcast that is above Majora's Mask, or that's also on that list, other than Majora's Mask?
that we've talked about today?
Yes.
No.
Wildlands?
Wildlands is a better game than Majora's Mask.
No, it fucking isn't.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
You said
man.
yourself you wouldn't play that game single player.
Yeah.
But he won't even start Majora's Mask.
I'm never playing that game again.
Okay. I don't think we're going to reach a consensus on this.
We're not.
We have. He's wrong,
that
and I'm
game-
right.
That game hurt me so
hurt
bad.
You for life.
It really did. I was so excited when that game came out.
You're blatant
I went and got the gold
consumerism.
cartridge like day one, fucking like, and I put that game in and played it all night.
You play as the
And
dead Deku Butler's son the whole game.
oh
Oh, it's
god,
so
that game
good.
sucked.
It's so good. You kill everyone that you wear, and then you wear their skin.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Oh, that game does so much. That game, because especially because if you look at, because then they followed it up with Wind Waker, which is an amazing game. The game
best.
suffers from a little bit in the back half. They had to cut some dungeons, and the Triforce fetch quest is a little bullshit, but whatever. But they followed that game up with Twilight Princess.
Bad
And
game.
imagine if they had followed up Ocarina of Time with Twilight Princess, because that's what it feels like you're asking right now. Is
Twilight
you'd rather they had
Princess-
done that?
Twilight Princess is a better game.
Oh no! I mean,
Not better than Ocarina of Time, but it's better than Majora's Mask.
no. Because Twilight Princess is just Ocarina of Time with a wolf in it.
Right.
Some
So
Yetis.
it's just not quite. It's just not as good.
Right. It's not as good as Majora's Mask.
No,
Wait,
that's not
Top
true.
3 Zelda games of all time.
Did you basically say you like Majora's Mask because it's like Leatherface?
Jeez. Basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
We're
Okay.
neither one of us are gonna move on this. I'm sure. No one's ever gonna convince me that Majora's Mask is a good game.
Write in and prove Jimmy wrong at emails at mvideogames.gmail.com.
That's not the
Real email address?
mmmPodcast@gmail.com. I
one
said
too.
it. I said it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Pretty sure there's like 6 more M's in there.
Anyway.
For the email, it's shortened. But yeah. Anyway, we should move on. Zelda Breath of the Wild, great game. Play it if you can. Play it on the Wii U, even if you have a Wii U. Play it on the Wii U.
Play it if you
Just
can.
mute Zelda.
Just mute Zelda. If you know Japanese, play that shit in Japanese because I've heard the Japanese voice acting and it's pretty good.
I don't. See, I have this argument all the time with subs versus dubs, and it's like if you don't understand the language, saying that voice acting is better is like, because it's like,
You can hear inflection, you can hear emotion in voice.
I mean, yeah, but that's not the same because like the cultural norms when it comes, like, you can inflect in English that would be lost on a Japanese speaker, and so it's entirely possible the inflections in Japanese have an entirely different connotation to the Japanese audience than it would to an English-speaking audience that like is just listening to the sounds. But whatever. This is a stupid derail, and I don't want to talk about it.
That's a off. We can talk about that some other time because me and Paul have
Join
talked
us for
about
our
that.
second monthly podcast
we've-
where I rant about
we've-
dubs and subs.
Me and Paul have actually talked about this quite a bit as well, and
Uh-oh.
we have.
Paul doesn't know Japanese.
We've talked about subs versus dubs,
Yeah.
but anyway,
You're ridiculous. Go and move it on.
I am on the extreme side, and I understand that. But anyway, let's move on. Link, you've played Nier.
I have played Nier. It's very near to my
I
heart.
think you're the only one here who's played Nier.
I am,
I know
which
how
will
it
make discussion different
It
and
ends
difficult.
and ends and ends and ends.
You can say that game ends 26 times.
Without spoilers,
Hmm.
give us a short little explanation of what that game is.
Okay. Without spoilers, Nier Automata, or Nier Automata, if you like to pronounce your words incorrectly or correctly, I guess, is a video game about the war between androids and machines.
Androids are machines.
Between androids and machines, there's no humans involved.
Between androids and machines.
Okay.
And the androids fight for the humans that live on the moon so that they can reclaim the Earth.
Okay.
And the machines, which were built by aliens to conquer the Earth. And without getting into any spoilers,
That's
a pretty basic.
I mean, you could
overview.
explain maybe something happens in the beginning, like if that
That's
would
kind of
help.
it. Like that game starts off with you basically launching an offense to track down a Goliath class, what they call the Goliath class, basically the real big bosses.
Okay.
If you played the PSN demo, the introduction to that game is basically that entire demo.
What's the gameplay like?
It's made by Platinum Games, so it has that Bayonetta feel.
Yeah.
Right. If you've played Bayonetta, if you played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, it plays like that. It plays maybe closer to Bayonetta than it does Revengeance, because you have a dodge instead of a counter. And you can eventually get a counter if you want. That's the cool thing, is they like give you a lot of ways to tweak the gameplay experience.
Quick side note: use Revengeance.
Yeah.
Did you find the gameplay in that easy?
I will say this: I beat that game without ever really being sure if I knew how to parry and what the parry symbols were.
Thank you. That was my feeling when I played the demo. That was just what I wanted to confirm there. Okay.
I mean, that's a known issue with that game, though.
Yeah.
People who tell you to play that game will say, "Watch this YouTuber's video teaching you how to parry," because the game did a bad job of it. Because Platinum had like a year to make that game.
That was the main reason I didn't buy it, because I played the demo and I felt like I played it a couple times because I felt like, okay, I'm just missing something. And then the second time I played, I was like, this feels kind of unplayable, because I just don't feel like I'm getting it. And I'm fairly good at those types of games. Like I've played the Devil May Cry games, and I've played the first Bayonetta. I haven't played the second one yet, but it just didn't feel right. But anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to know. What? So it's a Platinum game.
Yeah, I'd say it's actually kind of an easy Platinum game too, in terms of the actual, like, when you're doing the character stuff. Because I will say the game does a lot of perspective shifting. Like the game opens with a shooter, like a shmup style, like bullet hell essentially, where you are literally a spaceship flying around on the screen shooting at aerial enemies. Before it transitions into the more like ground-based Platinum style combat. But like you get a dodge that's got an incredible amount of invincibility frames that you can just mash out. So it's really the difficulty comes from enemies that can hit you so hard that you either get stun locked, so you can't get into the menu to then pause the game and heal, because you can use healing items at any time. And if you're fast, you can just mash down on the D-pad and one of the buttons to heal too. You don't even have to go to the full menu. But like you can just mash dodge on most attacks and get out of the way, or trigger the witch time equivalent, where you get like the perfect dodge or whatever. The window is really, really forgiving. And if you play the game on easy, it literally gives you the ability to do automatic combat, which you can customize like everything else in the game, which is really cool. Where you can literally have it be so, if I hit left trigger, automatically attack for me, or automatically dodge for me, or automatically shoot for me, or do all of the above for me. And you can only use those on easy, because it's a Yoko Taro game. Kind of, if you're unfamiliar, he's the designer behind Nier. He did Drakengard, or Dragoon in Japan. Did Drakengard 1 and 3, didn't do 2. Did Nier, and his like leading on this game. And so a lot of people want to like experience that story, because that's what he's known for. And so with the easy mode thing, there's like no achievements or anything. You don't get anything for playing on a harder difficulty other than just the enjoyment of doing so. So if you just want to experience story, you can totally bust it down to easy at any time. Slap on those auto chips and just let the game basically play itself while you just experience it.
And this game has a shit ton of endings.
Yeah, 26.
Can you still see all the endings you played on easier difficulties?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, playing on easy doesn't lock you out of anything.
Okay.
In fact, I think there's only one thing you can miss in the entire game. Everything else, it's real easy to go and get at some point.
Good. That's good. I like that.
That's pretty cool.
There's been a couple problems with this game, hasn't there?
Yeah, the PC port has some issues. Apparently, they didn't use the right DirectX call or something. I don't know the technical mumbo
Is this the
jumbo,
illumination
but
bug?
no, this is the full screen bug, where if you play the game in full screen, it will automatically drop the resolution to the next native one below what you have it set to for your monitor, and then upscale that to 1080 or whatever you have it set to. Which means for a lot of people, they were getting black bars on the sides of their screen while playing the game at 1080. That's fixed in Windows mode, and you can work around it. There's a modder put out a fix for it. And then, like you mentioned, the illumination bug, not necessarily even a bug. It's just a setting they don't.
Poor design choice.
Yeah, it's a setting they don't give to you. Basically, the game uses this unique way of illuminating the world, and you can lower that setting to triple, quadruple your performance. But it's not forward-facing at all. You have to download another mod file basically to.
I heard a rumor that they're going to be patching that in.
I believe so. I mean, I didn't follow it. The game ran fine for me. I have a 1070.
Okay.
But for lower end machines, apparently some of the lower tier 900 series cards and below were struggling. That's a really good way to.
Were you able to run it at 60?
I could run it at 60. The cutscenes are pre-rendered at 30.
I heard that.
They were always weird and jarring.
Okay.
But the gameplay was always 60, or at worst, it would maybe dip to the 50s. But it was never. I never had gameplay dip.
That's not terrible.
Right. I never had gameplay dip like the cutscenes. It was always whenever a cutscene would come on, you could tell immediately because suddenly everything was moving at half speed.
Oh.
This is.
That's kind of jarring.
It's unfortunate and jarring, but whatever, it's fine.
So, great game, good game.
Great game.
Bad game.
Good game. Great game. Great game. Great game. You don't need to play the first Nier. There are references to it. It helps maybe a little bit.
Okay.
In interviews, the director said that if you played the first game, all of that would do is make you more confused in the second game, and I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, he's kind of trolly.
Okay.
So I would disagree with that statement.
This is the guy who wore the moon head, right?
Yeah, he wears the moon head. If you saw Square Enix's E3 conference 2 years ago, I think he's the guy that doesn't clap right. He keeps his fingers out and doesn't know how to clap correctly.
He does the sea otter clap.
Right. If you've seen Atlas's promotion stuff for it, he has a YouTube video where he tells Atlas fans they should write Atlas and tell them not to put out their new fantasy game because if they do, it'll kill Nier and he won't have any money and he'll die.
Oh, that's funny.
So, but yeah, I don't think you should play the original Nier. That game has a lot of problems. It tries to be the same thing this is, except by a much less talented developer, or maybe not necessarily less talented.
Who put out the first one?
I believe it was a developer. I believe the developer was called Camia or something. It was something with a C. Okay. They disbanded almost immediately after that game came out. I think Square Enix put out DLC for the game, but I don't think any of the original team were involved other than the director.
Did Square Enix acquire this game or
No, they published it. They published Drakengard, which is the first Yoko Taro game.
I was referring to, did they acquire the old studio's rights, or did they always own that studio? Was it a subsidiary?
I'm pretty sure they always owned the studio. Or if they didn't own the studio, they always owned the rights to the game at least.
Gotcha. Okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe Nier 1 wasn't a Square Enix game, but I'm pretty sure it was.
It definitely was.
Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else of note?
I think if you want to see the Nier stuff, there are plenty of YouTube videos you can look at to see what happened in the original game. Because the thing that gets weird with that game is they put out a lot of drama CDs and short novels and stuff in Japan. Literally, there's an ending to the first Nier that is entirely contained in a drama CD that never came to the West. It just never got translated except by fans. So there's stuff out there if you want to look into it, but if you don't, you can totally just go into this game without knowing any of that stuff. it just adds to the whole mystery of what's going on.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've heard some of the soundtrack. You're right.
It's really good.
That soundtrack's really good.
They brought the guy that did the soundtrack for the first game came back and did the soundtrack for this game, and it's amazing.
What has he done in the other games of note that you know of?
Nothing that I'm aware of. I think he worked on the Drakengard stuff because I think him and the director are friends.
I've heard good things about that. I've never heard it, but I've heard good things about those soundtracks.
Yeah, like that's probably the only good thing about the Drakengard games.
Oh. Okay.
Because I've never played them. I'll be upfront with that. But from my understanding, Square Enix said we want a Dynasty Warriors game, and Yoko Taro was working on that project and eventually became project lead and was like, "Do you care what the story's like or whatever?" And they're like, "No, we just want a Dynasty Warriors game." And so he just went insane with the story and the soundtrack and stuff. But the gameplay was like this weird mix of Panzer Dragoon Orta meets Dynasty Warriors for the PlayStation 2. And then I guess he didn't work on the second game. Square Enix had them put out Drakengard 2, and he didn't work on that at all. So it's not canon. It's not part of the Drakengard timeline, despite literally being a numbered sequel. And then he came back and did Nier, and the time Drakengard 2 came out, I think, or he was working on it at least. And then he put out Drakengard 3, and now Nier Automata.
Gotcha.
All of which are technically connected, I guess, by that timeline.
Oh, okay. I definitely want to play it. If I have a lull in time before Stormblood comes out, I'll probably pick it up.
You should play it.
But I got a couple games I want to play before I.
Too many games.
Get to that.
Everyone should play it. If you're thinking
Everybody?
of playing Mass Effect, you should stop.
Oh, I'm gonna play Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. Jimmy, how's Mass Effect?
Well, I'd like to talk about Mass Effect, but I need to take a quick break.
We'll be back.
Alright, we're back. So yes, I have played Mass Effect Andromeda a little bit. Not too much, because I've been working on getting this podcast stuff ready for the podcast. I'm the only one who's played it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're
the writer.
I don't know. I'm not far enough to say whether or not the hate it's been getting is warranted. I will say I've really liked what I've played so far. I've done basically the first mission and gotten stuff set up to transition into the bigger game, I think. Or that's about to happen.
You haven't even been like given off to space to live your own life or whatever?
No, I haven't gotten that far, but I think that's about to happen. Because based on the events that have happened, well, I mean, this is like the first hour of the game. Fuck it. If you don't want to know what happens in the very first part of the game, skip a little bit.
Grow up.
I mean, to insert time code here.
So, I mean, everyone knows if you've followed up on it, the premise.
What if you haven't? Tell me about the shepherd. What's the shepherd doing?
Well, I was about to.
Tell me about the shepherd.
Tell me about the shepherd. I was about to explain that the short, quick premise is this basically takes place between the events of Mass Effect 2 and 3 in terms of the people involved. So humanity and the other aliens of the Milky Way universe create these arcs to save their species in case they get wiped out in the events that would transpire in Mass Effect 3. And they send them off to the Andromeda Galaxy. They basically build themselves a mini citadel to send off with it, as well as the other arcs. And they wake up 600 years later, and the game starts once they reach the Andromeda Galaxy.
So it's really set 600 years after the event.
It's 600 years after the events of Mass Effect 3, roughly. So who knows? I mean, I don't know if they give an explanation for which ending supposedly happens.
Is it even gonna matter?
It could. I mean, depending on where this game goes and like where it goes in the future. I mean, let's pure speculation. Like you could, if without knowing anything that happens in Andromeda, what if in the second game or the end of this game, they find a way to talk to Earth, or they find a way to talk to Earth after the events of Mass Effect 3 and they lived, or they get a message from Earth saying, "We failed. It's all on you guys." Like that would definitely change things for this game.
Well, I feel like if they failed, there wouldn't be a message, considering the stakes.
Well, they could send off a message, saying, "Good luck."
Well, my understanding is it even set up as though like they're doing this because they think that the Reapers might kill everybody?
They don't explain that per se, but I mean, if you've played the original Mass Effects,
right,
you understand that's what's happening. I think it's kind of important that they don't really spell that out for people that are coming into this series clean. I think it would be better.
Feel like they're missing out on something.
Yes, I think it would be very much better for them to come into this game thinking, "Oh, this was just their way of spreading, getting to another galaxy where everyone didn't have to live and die while they got there." Like, because it's a really long trip. Yeah, I think that's definitely the right call. I mean, anybody who's played it can definitely figure out and know what's going on.
Right.
But people who didn't don't have to feel left out, and they can play this game fresh. Start here, move on. Especially because they didn't release that HD remake that was rumored to be coming. Yeah. So if they can't get access, they could play it on PC. But I mean, if you can't afford a PC and you don't have access to an Xbox or a PlayStation 3, you can't play it.
So most of what I've heard about this game has been people shitting on the story and the character.
Well, I've heard some people have been shitting on the story, but everyone I've heard that's shat on the story hasn't finished it.
Right.
I don't know if that's the same for you.
No, it is. Yeah, everything I've been reading, I mean, even the reviews, I feel like the finished reviews that have been published by the outlets, they obviously finished the story.
And I feel like some of the ones I read there say that, at the end, the story wasn't that bad.
A lot of people say it gets better as you go. Yeah. And if you're already high on it, then maybe you're going to really like it.
I feel like I was probably going to enjoy it regardless. From what I had seen, I felt like I was not going to hate it no matter what. Right. They'd probably have to try really hard to get me to not like it at this point from the attitude I've gone into it with. The gameplay so far, I'm not deep by any standards in terms of, being able to upgrade, get new gear and weapons. Right. It's fun. I feel like it'll probably get better. It's not quite great right now, but I mean, it's still really early.
Here's the real question, though. How's the multiplayer?
I have not played the multiplayer.
It's not the real question. No one cares.
And
anyone who played Mass Effect 3 knows that's the real question.
How galactically ready are you?
We just got here, so we're not galactically ready at all.
Oh, shit!
Oh, fuck.
You better hurry.
No, I mean, I probably won't play the multiplayer unless one of you guys gets it and wants to play it with me.
Oh, see, you had me until you said wants to play it with you.
Or will play it. Like, I probably won't touch it, to be honest. I didn't really care for the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer because it felt like a poor man's Gears of War Horde mode or whatever that's called.
Biotic powers.
I only did it for the galactic readiness. I really didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't hate it.
To be able to get the best ending from Mass Effect.
Man,
thank God.
We're not getting into that.
We spent all those hours to get the best ending.
It was the worst game.
Should have just done the mobile app.
It was much faster and easier just to do the multiplayer real quick.
I don't know. I like the multiplayer at launch was whatever. It was the thing people did to get Galactus readiness up. But I feel like their continued support for the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was...
What got better? Like, cause I only played it initially.
So the thing that was interesting was because the thing was like your classes were always super limited, right? Because unlike the base game where you could be whatever, you were like, if I'm going to be a soldier, I have to be either this human or this Turian, or if I'm going to be whatever, I'm going to be this or this.
Mm-hmm.
As they added more classes, you got more diversity in both the races you could play as that you couldn't like that you just never saw like fight at all in the story, as well as like these powers that came in that just weren't available to you in the main game. That led to these interesting combos. The map design got better over time because they kept putting stuff out for that game. Because it turns out when you're a game in what was it 2010 or whenever that game came out,
I don't remember the exact
when
year.
you're one of the first multiplayer shooters that have blind boxes in them, you tend to make a lot of money. So
Yeah.
they were able to support that game, the game's multiplayer with a lot of free DLC, which was really cool, and it lets you do a lot of cool stuff with it. Plus, it was a lot like the Wildlands thing with me. I would never touch that multiplayer with randoms. I wouldn't touch it by myself. But it was like, all right, 3 of my friends are on. We're gonna get in cover behind this rock. We're gonna shoot the shit out of these guys and do some cool ass biotic combos, and we're just gonna kill aliens for 15 minutes, get a bunch of rewards, and move on to the next map.
That's fair. I mean, I had to play it by myself.
Yeah, see, like I don't know if I would. I don't think I'd have as fun a view on it if I was playing that by myself.
Cause I mean, the only other person I knew that was playing it was Paul, and we were playing it on different platforms. So
yeah,
because I had been playing Mass Effect 1 since it came out on the Xbox, so I kept going to keep my save. But Paul had started at Mass Effect 2 on the PS3. You did play Mass Effect 1, right, on the Xbox?
I played Mass Effect 1 on the PC.
On the PC, okay, gotcha. That's right, because you didn't have an Xbox.
Never had an Xbox.
Yeah.
I've never had any kind of Xbox.
That's weird.
For me, it's not
It just sounds weird because the Xbox 360 was such a
dominant. Yeah,
dominant machine. Yeah,
I know it sucked. It was hard times, PS3 gaming.
Well, PS3 was sucky in the beginning, but anyway.
Well, PS3 was great. Play Bayonetta and have it load into your pause screen.
Anyway,
that's kind of all I have to say about Andromeda right now.
So far.
So
I'm excited to see how it goes. I definitely want to pick the game up. It's just I've got so much other stuff to do right now that it doesn't make sense for me. So I'll probably get it eventually.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it pronounced Mass Effect Andromeda or Mass Effect Andromeda?
Andromeda.
Are you sure?
Yes.
There you have it.
It's Andromeda.
All right.
One other side Mass Effect question. Did anyone else see the texture mod that someone did for Mass Effect 1 recently?
No.
Someone did a texture mod putting 4K textures into Mass Effect 1.
Is it like all those mods that put 4K textures in N64 games?
What?
Yeah. What do you mean, what?
Say this again?
Yeah, you know how people can illegally, or I guess technically legally, I don't know, whatever.
Oh, you're talking
the
emulation stuff.
But emulation stuff, where you pump up
the
textures to 4K. And
I know this was a little, from what I understand, I don't know if this is 100% correct, from the little brief thing I read about it, it sounds like he took the textures and actually took the time to actually hand upscale them.
He didn't just make his own new textures at 4K or
I
whatever?
don't think he made new ones. It was so much that I think he took the assets that were there. But I watched a good chunk of it. He just basically he has a bunch of YouTube videos of just basically you're watching Mass Effect 1 take place without the actual fights. It looks really fucking good. Looks kind of better than the Mass Effect Andromeda animations.
Oh no.
But not all of it.
No one.
Not all. Yeah. But it was cool. I just wanted to bring that up. I don't know if anyone's seen that. You should check it out if you get bored sometime. It was cool, and it's kind of fun to watch Mass Effect 1 happen again because that was a really good game, and it's been a long time since I actually watched like the story aspects of that game.
Mass Effect 1 had the best final boss, except for the part where there was a boss after it.
forgot about that.
Real good.
The boss after it. That is. I forgot about the. Yeah. The Mass Effect 1 was a great game. It's my favorite in the trilogy. But
it's the best one.
It's true, right, Paul?
Nope. They actually got better.
Oh man, that's too bad. You're wrong. But anyway,
and that's all the time we have today.
Let's talk about what probably the
Australia ban?
the game we've all played the most in the past year, except for Jason.
Final Fantasy 15.
Final Fantasy 15, baby.
Oh yeah, I love them chocobos.
Gladio DLC coming out.
Oh, it is coming.
Gross.
But Overwatch. There's some new stuff that came out.
New hero Jeff.
New hero Jeff, wrestling Jeff. But a new tank.
Orisa.
But so they released a new tank, an anchor tank as they call it, like Reinhardt.
Do you agree with that, by the way? Do you think that she's an anchor tank?
Yes. But I think that's not the only way you have to play her.
I think she's designed to be one.
Yes.
But if you play her like Reinhardt, you'll have a bad time.
See, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
I don't think that's necessarily true though.
I think you should. I think she is more effective.
Says the guy who flanks no matter what, basically. You don't need an anchor tank, Jimmy. You don't play that way.
True.
I think she's more effective if she's throwing her shield down in front of the team, but then isn't sitting behind. But then also isn't sitting behind the bubble.
Oh no! I don't think she's designed to sit behind the bubble.
Well, that's when I say like plays like Reinhardt. I mean like you're in a spot, your team is behind you, you have the shield in front of you, and you're all attacking.
And
then you move up when the shield goes down.
When I refer to her as an anchor tank, I refer to her as like she is a tank. When I refer to that, I agree with her that you can play her as an anchor tank. What I mean, she can stand her fucking ground in the middle of a fight and be
Unless there's a widow on the other team.
I mean, that's what you did. That's why you decide if a tank is an anchor tank.
And that's what it is. Like you're that.
Stand there and take
you are that central part of this engagement.
See, when I think, I agree with you on the central part of the engagement, but I guess
everyone's drawn to her. Like it is beneficial to you for you to be around her.
Everyone's drawn to wherever she tells them to be drawn to.
Yes, because she can throw that shield in front of you. She can fucking stand in front of you and fucking.
Right. She provides protection.
Her I forget what's the shift ability called.
Fortify.
Like she can just stand right in front of somebody, throw that on, and take half damage. Like.
Right, like she's the only character that can survive.
The team benefits from you being around her, and that's.
Wait, hold on. What?
What?
She can survive a graviton surge combo, like throw that and then like she can walk out of it.
I mean, she's not the only one who can.
Well, okay.
Like D.Va can fly out of it, Genji can dash out of it.
I'm still really mad. Winston cannot jump out of it.
Winston can't jump out of it. Tracer
well, we're
can
talking
out
about
of
tanks. We're not talking about Winston.
No, I want to go back to the Winston thing. Genji can dash out of it, and D.Va can boost out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Winston's jump is using a jetpack. It's not just him jumping like a monkey man. He's using technology to do it. So why can't he get out of it?
Have you seen how big he is? There's a lot of gravity.
I mean, D.Va's a mech. D.Va's a mech.
But D.Va's got that Korean tech, dog.
The thing that
he's a scientist,
Paul, and I can't believe you, a Winston main, would forget this. Is that Winston, first and foremost, is a team player. And he knows how hard and how long it is for Zarya to get that ult. So when she pops one off and he gets caught in it, he's more than happy to sit there and wait for her to wait to die. Because he's like, Zarya, it's good work for you getting this. If you don't kill me, then I'm going to run away. But hey, I'm doing what I can for you because I think you did a good job.
I think his mindset is, if I let Zarya kill me here, does that mean she'll come back to the Overwatch initiative?
Do you feel like people play Winston not to feel like they're getting
I feel like no one plays Winston.
Right. Well, Jeff already came out and said he's the least played hero in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous.
And Jeff is Jeff Kaplan.
Oh, sorry. I should specify the director? Is he one of the
President of Blizzard Entertainment.
No.
president? I don't know if that's true.
What is technically his title?
I believe he is project. Is he product lead? Project lead?
Probably.
I think
That sounds
so.
familiar.
Yeah.
But anyway, he came out and said in an AMA on Reddit that Winston, I mean, among other things,
I mean,
the thing that I
Bastion-
got out of it, the most
Bastion's played
important,
more than him.
right, like in the game as a whole.
Yeah.
Not like if you look at the competitive thing, like if you look at like top 500 players, he's played more than Bastion. But
well, yeah, more than Bastion. Did you? Speaking
he's
of
not
that,
the least. He's not the least played character.
did you
in
see the top 10 list across seasons? For
No.
top 10 characters played in the competitive.
Lucio.
He's in every single one. It's basically the same 10 characters every single season.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
There's like a
Roadhog in
variation.
the
There's a variation between 1 and 2 characters across patches,
Right.
but it's like
Well,
it's
Anna.
the same
I mean,
10.
Anna wasn't in the first season. She
No, but she's in every single one of those top 10 cents.
right. Is that you think that's still going to be true with the recent patch?
Damage nerf.
Probably. That's not why.
Well, they
that's
didn't
not
nerf
why
for
people play her.
healing.
Right, and that's why people play her. I mean,
So he is game director and vice president at Blizzard Entertainment.
That's what this fandom Wikia page I found says.
can be trusted. Yeah.
He's
You can't-
not vice president of Blizzard.
I mean, I suspect a lot of
He's
people.
a
are
vice
of
president
Blizzard.
of
Yeah, that's my
Blizzard.
suspicion. is
Okay.
There's probably a lot of them.
Okay.
Right. It's not like the United States.
Right, I understand. I
Right.
just didn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like that he was that high in that company in general.
I mean, he came on real early for WoW stuff and has been there
Right.
for a while.
Have you seen his? I mean, I believe it.
I guess. I
classy
guess.
guy.
I mean, it makes. I just never thought of him being that high up in the company. I thought. I mean, I knew he was really high up in terms of Overwatch.
So whatever.
But yeah, it doesn't matter.
Most
Um,
important
Apparently,
thing
that
here-
happened in 2013.
Are you talking about the rant or the?
No, I'm talking about when he became vice president.
Oh, in 2013 became VP. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
right around when they started development on Titan.
No, Titan development started back when Burning Crusade came out.
Oh, so ending development on Titan.
Yeah, that was
Started-
around when Titan ended.
So he picked up the flaming wreckage of Titan.
No, he was on Titan.
Yeah.
He left
But
WoW
he
to work
still
on.
picked it up and fixed it.
I mean,
like-
yes, technically, because what happened was
He picked up what he dropped.
according to that same AMA, the company gave his team basically, you guys have 6 weeks to come up with a video game, or we're disbanding your team to go work on other projects.
I heard about that. That's ridiculous.
And then they came up with Overwatch,
Amazing.
and most of the team got to stay together and work on it.
That's a really special story in video. I hope they come out and like tell it like fully at some point. Like just the Titan development into
God,
Overwatch.
yeah, I know. I want that so bad. I want to see the assets from that game when it was still. I think more than the story, I want to see what that game was like in terms of like how far of a build they got.
I want to know how much of it is in Overwatch. Like how much
Just
of
a
what's
bunch of Gothic Zaryas running around with Bastion's cannon and Mercy's heal.
I don't know. I had seen something about them talking about how Numbani was a big part of.
Numbani.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
big part
Numbani
of.
was a big part of Titan. Apparently, Tracer,
Tracer
Reaper,
was, yeah.
Reinhardt, although I guess he changed a lot. Symmetra, Torbjorn. Not like they've said that not every character came out of Titan, but a couple of them have.
Well, and a crazy amount of them are considered the same kind of character or something, even though they're so different in this game.
What's actually really funny is after Titan burned and wrecked and Overwatch was announced and came out, the expansion for WoW, the most recent one, Legion, introduced the Demon Hunters as a class, and they have the ability to double jump and dash, just like
Oh,
Genji,
Genji.
double jump and dash. And so I wonder how much tech that didn't go into Titan went into Overwatch, and how much of that also then went into WoW or went into like Diablo 3 stuff in terms of like loot and shit like that. Stuff like that I really wish they eventually talk about, but I doubt we'll ever see it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe someday I can see that happening.
Blizzard's known for being very open with their communities.
Were they the ones who put out the like Warcraft point and click adventure, or did that leak out of somewhere and they were just like, yeah, it's a thing we canceled like a month before we were going to put it out because it was bad?
Don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I respect that. I think Blizzard's one of those companies up there with Nintendo like in terms of.
Oh, they've definitely reached that status.
Yeah, yeah, like.
I mean, they've come a long way, you know, since the original Warcraft, and then making the leap in '97 to StarCraft, and then World of Warcraft. Put them on this.
We all make mistakes, right,
pedestal.
Jimmy?
I mean, yeah. I mean, every company makes mistakes. They made that shit game, but
That multi-trillion-dollar game.
God, it's ruined MMOs. But anyway, it's a different topic too. For the custom game and game browser, when setting up a custom game, players can now disable or modify abilities activated with the secondary fire button. I showed you
Widowmaker scopes.
I showed you something with this today, I believe.
I thought that was PTR. I guess it wouldn't.
Is it PTR? It might have been, but it makes sense with this change, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw a GIF of McCree activating his secondary fire, and it never stopped firing.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Cowboy.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think there's some really cool possibilities with that kind of stuff.
I'm just so not interested in that, I guess.
Well, I was thinking
know.
about it. It was like just really quickly, like it was like, well, I mean, with that kind of thing, you can make special game types where like defensive characters can only play defensively, and you can create special things like, well, how many defensive characters do we need around our attackers who are the only ones who can actually do damage, like that kind of stuff. That sounds really cool, like to just play with once or twice.
The stuff that I always fall back on with that though is that stuff all sounds cool and neat, but I would much rather have a map and sort of like a script editor, sort of, so that you could make your own, like, so you had scripting rules for your own game types.
Like people did with StarCraft and custom games.
Like StarCraft with custom games, like TF2 is the big influence obviously here too, where it's like, oh, like TF2 launched with what, one game mode, maybe two technically, I think, where you captured points, and then the community put out like, here's a CTF mode, here's this mode, here's King of the Hill, here's like a deathmatch mode, here's this, here's that, and then Valve started to co-op some of that stuff and pay the modders who like worked on that stuff, but it let people like make maps that like, so the game always stayed, so you didn't have that issue of, oh, we're on Numbani again. That's cool. It was, you could start that game up every week and see a new map, and that was a really exciting time.
I'd love to see like a map editor that's only allowed in like a certain game area.
Yeah, I could see it being if you're doing like map editor, like custom apps are only on the server browser.
Right.
Custom game
That's
browser,
what I'm
unless you were-
referring to
yeah.
basically. I maybe a specialized place for maps, kind of highlighting them. But
Right.
I mean, I think that would be a benefit to the company too, because they could see something and use
totally.
it.
Like,
They could use it in a new map.
Be like, oh,
Yeah,
this
I
map
mean-
is great. We're gonna put it in our game, and people can pay money to support it or whatever.
Yeah, well, we're gonna
And-
take this idea and kind of tweak it to the way we see the game.
And we'll give you a pittance for what you're working.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Speaking of which, did you see that? I believe it was Kaplan. It might have been another member of the team. Did actually comment on an official map editor.
I did see something quickly about that. I didn't really look into it too much.
I just saw I saw the title in a Reddit post, but I didn't.
It was basically that they really like the idea for much of the reasons we've mentioned, and because I mean they're not idiots. They played TF2 as well. They know like that stuff, and they know how custom games helped with StarCraft.
They very clearly played TF2.
Right. But that they can't just take their internal tools and put them customer facing because they're not really designed for that. They would need to clean those up, and the effort and time it takes to work on that puts it as basically on the back burner. It's a low priority. They want to get it done. They want to do it at some point, but they've got other stuff they want to work on and finish first. Sort of like when that game launched and people were like, "Oh, you should put in a server browser." They were like, "We'd like to at some point, but we've got other stuff we're working on first." So who knows? Maybe this time next year we'll be talking about the great new the map editor that just launched and how it doesn't have enough support for enough power to do what people want with it or whatever. But
did you see what they did to Lucio in the PTR? The damage increase.
The damage increase.
Yeah, that's new. They turned down his self heal.
Again?
No, they did that, but then they increased his damage by 25% or something like that. I think it's
Oh, wait,
25.
are we talking about in addition to lowering the range?
Not lowering the range. They lowered the. Wait, what are you saying?
They decreased the range that Lucio's heal reached from 30
Yeah,
meters to
they
10.
decreased Lucio's heal range. They increased how much healing it does,
Yeah.
and then they decreased how much healing it does to him when he like his self
To
heal.
himself.
Like,
Oh.
to himself. He still heals everyone around him a lot, like more than he used
Mhm.
to, but they decreased the amount he heals himself because I
What
think
does he heal himself at the normal rate he did before, basically?
I think they decreased it by 30% from what it was increased to. So
It went up to 50, so either it went down to 30 or it went down by 30, but it basically I think it puts him at about what he was at before.
Okay.
Right. So I think the problem was because he was so much, and they decreased his wall ride speed too. His wall ride was increasing his speed
Ludicrous
by 30.
speed?
Yeah. They decreased it from 33% to 20%.
Jeez. It was too
So-
fast.
Right. So everyone's saying that that's a big improvement. I haven't tried out the new one yet. But the other thing they did is they increased his projectile speed with the last PTR patch, and then the most recent one, they also increased how much damage it does. So I think like one full burst of headshots from him does like I'm not gonna get this right, but he does like like the big memes right now are about how he's the new DPS character.
Oh, jeez. That's going to get changed.
Right. Well, I think they were just I don't know. They're just really fucking around with him a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know.
I'm
what
not
they
sure
wanna
why
do.
there's fucking around with him so much.
I don't know. The PTR is different now. Like they're just doing crazy stuff there,
Yeah.
which is cool. I mean, I'll be interested to see what of the Lucio changes makes it into the live version.
Yeah, it's going to be... I wonder if... I don't know. I think... I'm kind of getting the feeling that they don't want Lucio to be a top played character.
Right. I definitely think that's what it is. They want to take him away from being a healer.
I hate that they're doing that kind of stuff.
No, I think it's less they want to take him away from being a healer, and more they don't want it to be, oh, we're playing King of the Hill. I have a Lucio on my team. The other team doesn't. So we're just there on the point now.
Well, but that's still
But
going to be the
part
case.
that part of it's been made worse.
They're not made worse. It's the same.
It's tweaked though, because where it was before, where his radius was so large, you could play with a bunch of flankers and have your team could spread out.
And still get the speed boost. With this change to his radius, it's like, okay, if you want the speed boost, you guys need to get in close. It is going to make taxiing people a lot more annoying, which I've gotten a lot better at that.
Like, it's like the change with Ana. Like, Ana has her damage nerf, but clearly they're okay with supports doing damage. Symmetra's a support, Zenyatta is a support, and he's like a sniper, basically, just without the scope. So they're clearly okay with him doing damage, they just don't want him to do they just don't want Ana to be a good healer and a good damage dealer, so they're going to nerf her damage and have her heal instead.
Right.
They don't want Lucio to you going so fast, so he's going to increase your healing a lot and still give you the speed boost, but you've got to be really close and you got to work towards his strengths.
You got to actually be in with the team, like on top of the team, basically, because that radius is tiny now. Like, not. I don't know if tiny is the right word, but it's small.
It's a third of what it was before.
Right, and again that's a radius. It's a circle, so you're losing.
Right. That's a lot of area.
You're losing a lot of area, which was a lot of coverage before. Like one of the people's favorite thing to do is to ride around in the well or to ride around the outside of an area.
That's not going to be a thing anymore.
Right. Well, it can be if you just want to be
on the car stuff, but like just staying in like the left side of the arena dancing.
Well, if Lucio just wants to stay alive there, he can, but that's not going to be helping the team.
That's no benefit to anybody.
Right. I mean, he can ride around up there shooting down at people, but that's not going to be. That's not. Everyone's going to be real mad.
I'm kind of glad they're getting rid of that because that was really an annoying part of the game, to be honest.
He's still hard as hell to kill. Like,
yeah, definitely. That's not. I totally get that. Like, it was just the fact
he's an
that,
annoyance. He's probably gonna be more annoying now because with the wall ride speed, he can get away from you even faster than he used to be able to.
Yeah,
He can get in and out of fights really fast.
But that's like a Genji situation. Like you have to be really good with Lucio still to pull that shit off.
Yeah. I mean, they're making him a
wall
much
running
more
well
skilled
is
character.
difficult.
No, I know.
But let's see. Junkrat, his explosions no longer hurt himself. Yay! That should have been there day one.
No, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, because the idea is, oh, you got to be skillful to play Junkrat, and also Team Fortress 2 Demo Man can kill himself.
Well, I would say, yeah, I think the biggest thing was they didn't want people to play Junkrat by like, Junkrat should be in the back lobbing grenades into choke points, right? Like,
yes, but it's so easy.
But now
it's so easy to have those things accidentally come back and get behind you, and you don't even know what happens. Like,
right. Well, that, and if you get flanked, if you get jumped as Junkrat in the past, you're probably fucked. Like, it's
honestly, if you get jumped as Junkrat, you're probably fucked anyway because he's so easy to kill. Like,
yeah, but now now he's not gonna do half the job for you just by shooting you.
that's true.
Like before as Winston, I could jump a Junkrat and he would like, for one, Winston does like no damage, so he would do most of the job of killing himself for me.
But that's part of the thing. Like, he was too easy to kill. Like when there was Junkrats, it was like, oh yes,
well,
here we go.
That's what I'm saying. I think that this improvement. I think it's definitely something they needed. I'm going to be interested to see if it changes the way he's played, though. Like, are people going to
the night
jump
that we
into
played,
situations?
The night that we played, I watched Mike play him, and I saw some other people play him. He's more aggressive now.
Is he part of a dive comp? Like,
I was literally, I would just run up into, like, if there was a Reinhardt on the other team and he had his team behind his shield, I just ran up to Reinhardt and started body shotting him with grenades and splashing onto his team.
Right, and if you didn't kill him, you were doing damage on the shield.
I was doing damage to the shield, to him, and to all his teammates.
Yeah.
And then he would normally run, and then I would start attacking people behind him, because they're like, people just don't expect that right now. It's
nice because I think that this is really good for making Reinhardt, like, they're trying to kill Reinhardt and Lucio at the same time. I feel like Orisa is supposed to be another option for to replace Reinhardt, and now Junkrat's like, he was always a counter sort of, but like now he's like a really hard.
I don't think they're trying to totally kill Reinhardt. I think they're
not trying. They don't want to kill anybody. But
I think they're trying to. Well, some characters I think they are trying to kill.
I don't think that's true.
Bastion,
that's not in their best interest to kill any character.
They keep making Bastion not wanted.
They wanted Bastion to be
really good.
He is good, but people don't want him because they keep nerfing him, and he has a negative connotation that goes along with him.
They haven't nerfed him. They just they've undone buffs.
Fuck the haters.
That's still a nerf.
If you want to play Bastion, play Bastion.
I do play Bastion, but
right. You're just tired of people bitching at you?
Yeah.
I just want people to be nice to me.
It's not so much nice. I'm sick of it. Like,
why won't people kiss me when I play?
Please change. Please, Jimmy, please change. Please change.
Right. It gets really annoying.
Switch to Hanzo.
Please change.
And then people don't take the game seriously. Like, because we have a Bastion.
They start playing like shit.
We have a Bastion. We lose, so fuck it. I'm gonna.
You know the solution to that as well as I do, Jimmy. We got to get deep in that 3v3 scene.
Okay. Well, it looks like we might have a fourth coming back occasionally, so that'd be nice.
Yeah,
but
I heard, Jason, you're gonna get the game, right? You said that a few weeks ago, months ago.
I'd like to. Yes, I'm working on it.
Oh, that would be a fifth.
Get it? You should get it. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than your average game.
It is.
Isn't it? What is it? 40?
It's 40, and occasionally it goes on sale for 30.
And if you buy WoW, you can just
next time there's a free
Gold.
weekend, we should get you in for a free weekend.
And that would be a good chance for you to see if your computer will run it too, because I know you're a little concerned about that.
Okay.
They do them. They've done like what, two of those since
they
the game
do them
launched?
occasionally. I think we're due.
Two I knew of, anyway.
I think we're due for one. But yeah, that'd be cool.
Plus, those are great times for us to play.
Yeah.
We feel like we're a little less terrible.
Let's see. Winston's barrier projector cooldown now starts when the barrier is placed instead of when the barrier is destroyed or the time ends.
A lot of people think that doesn't sound like it's that big of a deal.
It is a big deal.
Big deal. Because a lot of people just ignore the barrier when I put it down.
Well, I mean,
and then I'm like, well, now I'm not going to have a barrier for like 30 seconds.
Not a great barrier. Let's get real.
No,
That-
it only has like I think
That
500.
thing, yeah, it's 500 health. It goes down pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, it does. It doesn't
Yeah,
protect. I mean, people
that'll help.
people are like, just dance in and out of it if a Reaper's after you. It's like, no, the Reaper will just shoot it, and after 2 shots, it'll be gone, and then he'll start shooting me directly.
Right.
But then you can fly away.
I die after 2 more shots.
Yep.
Ooh,
How many seconds does it take for him to shoot 4 shots?
Not that long.
Does it take more than 6 seconds? Because I think that's the cooldown on his jump pack.
Takes him about 3 minutes.
Anyway, well, does anyone have any other games they want to talk about?
No.
No?
I mean,
There are no more games.
No, not really. There's that game from Japan that I already have that's coming out in a week and a half.
Well, I mean, maybe.
Listen, it's coming out. Amazon's not going to cancel my pre-order.
Is that game that Amazon's canceling
No,
pre-orders
don't
because it's
say
got a
it.
dangerous chemical or something in it? What?
It contains small amounts of it. They have to be handled with care. Yeah, Persona 5. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 5. I don't
Oh,
think it actually has
man, I heard
DLC.
Amazon.
Does it have SMP
Amazon
on it?
sent a
No,
message.
it doesn't.
Amazon sent a message saying that it was canceled, I think.
No, you'd have to, for you to have gotten that message, you would have had.
Well, I'm
Pre-order.
not saying I got that message. I just saw the news that.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sure I'll have more to say about that next, if this ever happens again.
It will.
Try me.
Okay.
This podcast will be an exclusive
Mhm.
Persona 5 fan cast.
And
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Tips, the tricks, everything you want to know about the world of
Yes.
Persona
Tune in.
5.
All right, I'm back in. Wait, don't spoil anything though. I need to have.
You're the
time
one
to
who has
think.
the game. How am I going to spoil anything?
Wait, you're gonna play it too, right?
Yeah, when the game comes out.
Oh yeah, I do have the game already.
Yeah.
I don't speak the Japanese.
You're the one you're like, there's this, according to the back of the box, there's at least 3 characters. That's a spoiler.
True.
A cat in it.
That game needs to come out. I think the cat's supposed to be a boy, from what I've been reading.
Catboy?
It doesn't make any sense though, because it
Yeah,
sounds like
girl.
it's voiced by a girl.
Well,
and it
neither
sounds
did
like
that
a girl.
So wait,
stupid. Like,
is it Teddy again?
I was trying to. Yeah, Teddy didn't make sense either.
Teddy's a boy. Yeah.
Teddy makes sense.
Teddy looked. I mean, not masculine per se, but the cat. I don't know. The cat I just assumed it was a girl, and plus Morgana sounds like a girl name.
You just assume that cat's gender.
I did. I know.
Did you play
It's
the
a
Dragon
talking
Age
cat,
games?
so it can tell me. It can tell me what gender it is.
Did you play the Dragon Age games, Paul?
I played part of Origin, and then I played part of Inquisition. I didn't play
I
two.
think
at all.
there's a character in Origins who's named Morgana, and I think she's a wood witch. And I think she's clouding your mind as to why Morgana. would
No,
be
there's a
girl name.
Morgana in all 3 games.
Well, there you go. Look, you know all about the Elder Scrolls series now, apparently.
That's that's not the same game.
Oh, my bad.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no, Morgan. That was the name I was thinking of. Morgan.
Oh.
She's a woods witch, and that's also who you're thinking of.
So, like, what's the cat's name? Morgana?
Morgana.
Not Meow-Organa?
It'd be Nyangana, but
Oh,
we're not
'cause it's
going to
gonna
go
get
into
localized, Dangus. Good
The sub-
localization will change Nyan to Meow.
that. They shouldn't. I had a long conversation with someone recently about why Meow is just as ridiculous as Nya.
They're both ridiculous, but you use the ridiculousness that's in the region you're putting the
from
game
your
out.
country.
Yeah,
Nya is better because it's culture specific.
right. It'd be like saying that Teddy's name should have been Kuma.
Is that what it was in the Japanese version?
Kuma.
Yeah,
Kuma
because Kuma just means
Japanese.
bear. Yeah.
Oh,
So, anyway,
there you go.
So you change it to
There
Teddy
are a
and-
few kind of newsy topics I'd like to talk about.
all right, let's hit them rapid fire. We're running out of time tonight.
Let's see.
This podcast could be 5 hours long, babe.
It's
Yeah,
real long.
It's only been a couple hours. A new console came out,
Which one?
the Neo Geo 2.
Oh no! You think they would have launched that thing as the Neo Geo?
The Nintendo Switch. Link,
Switcher.
did you get one of those?
Did I get a
Or
Nintendo Switch?
Mike, did you get a Switch?
Oh, that's a funny thing that you'd say that to me. Because,
Yeah?
Because see, I was gonna get a Nintendo Switch from my
And-
good best buddy Paul.
That's all the time we have tonight.
My good best buddy, good best buddy Paul. And then when it comes time for me to say, all right, my good buddy Paul, how much money do you want? He said, oh, don't worry about it. I sold it to an eBay scalper.
I didn't do that.
And
I
then I
canceled
cried.
it.
I cried for 3 weeks.
Oh,
Straight.
Jesus. First of all,
so you just
from
stopped
what I've
recently.
seen, you can actually find them, right? They're findable in the
But
wild.
I wanted yours.
Right?
It was
I
gonna be
love you.
special.
Anyway.
We're gonna sign it and everything.
Mr. Rosewater, creator of Magic the Gathering.
Inventor of the Nintendo Switch.
Yep. Well, you've played one, correct, Mike?
I've touched one for approximately half a day.
Half a day. Oh, that's it. Okay.
That's it.
Paul, you and I
touched it
have one.
since.
Jason, do you know anybody? Have you played one?
No, I have
like a
not.
kiosk or something?
Touched one
Paul
for
said he
half
was
a day.
going to sell me one, but then he backed out at the
None
last
of
minute.
that.
Man,
Sold it to
Paul.
his- Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, you think you know a guy?
Right?
I did know a guy, and he backed out on me.
Oh, man.
Well, what do we think of the Switch? Do we like it? Hate it?
Oh, I guess it's just me and you, right?
Oh, Mike's played one.
Yeah, half a day. Mike, what do you
Yeah.
think? In your
I
expert
think-
opinion.
Yeah, with
In
your
my
short, like that'd be interesting. Like with your short interaction with it, what did you think?
I think, and this is me talking with the short time I had with the Nintendo Switch. I think if they took a gamepad, said let's not design it like it's a Fisher Price toy, and then they put it out. And I think it's okay. I think it's the interesting dichotomy of play it on the TV, take it with you, play it on the bus, get it stolen on the bus, buy a new one from
not
Nintendo.
get the saves back because it's Nintendo.
It's Nintendo and you lose all your purchases. No, I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I think the portability thing will be bigger in Japan, but that might just be the fact that I don't have a lot of time where I would be playing. Like I don't have a long commute where I'm on a bus or something where I can
Right.
like play a handheld.
It's a system designed for city commuters, like big city. I feel like that's who this like Japan.
Yeah, totally.
It's a
Like
Japan system.
I think it's cool that as soon as Nintendo started making mobile games, they created a device to replace the phone that you would use on the toilet to play Fire Emblem Heroes with a device you can use to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on the toilet instead. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
The controllers, when they come off and are by themselves, the little Joy-Cons, I think, are small and garbage and will be destroyed.
Well, they might be going back to Nintendo soon.
Yeah, all of them will.
But okay. I like mine.
Yeah. Do you like it or do you like it?
I just like it.
Because if you like it, I think that means you have to like consume it in your weird flesh pudding form, and then you lose your shield.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Sorry, buddy, it's the rules.
Well, it's a good thing I like it and not like it, huh?
Yeah, true.
I've only played Zelda on it. There are
other games for it.
There are other games that I would like to try. Notably, Snipper Clippers. But Snipper Clips, yeah, whatever it's called. I do not have somebody to play that with locally.
Oh, take it with you on the go.
Right.
Go to your local bar, make a new friend, and say, "Please,
please
please
play this game with me. I want to play it so bad."
Will you
I
please
think
be
that
my right Joy-Con.
I think that game looks like a lot of fun from what I've seen. But I haven't had a chance to or an opportunity to even try it. I would like to try the 1-2 switch stuff. Just for the experience.
$60 want to try?
No, that's the thing, and that's about it. I had when I heard that the Bomberman was coming, I kind of hoped that it was going to be okay, but then I heard it was really bad and saw some stuff, and that sucks. But it doesn't look like there's a few games. There's plenty of games that are announced that I'm definitely looking forward to.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to New Donk City like the rest of the
right. I'm
Jump on that hat.
I'm definitely interested in that game. There's a game coming out. I'll probably play Ukulele on it when that comes out.
The Xenoblade sequel is going to come out.
Xenoblade sequel is the biggest thing I'm looking forward to on the Switch.
Right.
Because Xenoblade, second favorite RPG of that generation. Behind Lost Odyssey.
Oh hell yeah! Someone else who loves Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey is
so good.
So good. That was
kids with your Mass Effects.
That was
fuck off. We're playing Lost Odyssey all day, baby.
That was probably hard to say. It's definitely like top 3 games of that generation, and top RPG for sure, for me at least.
Yeah, totally. I love that game.
Just the story, the music. It was. I mean, Nobuo Uematsu did the music for it. The story was good. Most of the characters were good. The gameplay was fucking awesome because it was a modern turn-based RPG. Like, it was so good.
Did you cry?
Never gonna happen again.
It might not. The way things have been going.
Square Enix. Don't
Microsoft exclusivity.
Yeah, because
I mean, Persona 5 is gonna. I mean, there's one that's coming out real soon.
Yeah, but I'm talking about system. Games that had good systems like that, not that stupid Persona system.
That's all the time we have today.
The game would also be fine if it didn't have the Persona shit. I'd probably really like those games. I just really
Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon system.
It's not a Pokemon system.
It's Pokemon.
No.
It's like Pokemon, only when they have sex, they make demons that are totally different.
Pokemon, except you don't need balls.
The stuff where you're combining the personas and shit, that's so boring to me.
Then don't engage with it. Just use the ones you get and level them up.
Just.
Can you not just not do that? Because you don't have the game's not hard enough that you have to do that.
I don't think I can.
You have to engage with the system.
I want to engage with the system that's there.
And then it's bad, so you're like,
And I don't like it, and it's a downer.
Yeah, how much? I thought you didn't cook food in Zelda.
I did cook some food, yeah.
Okay, I thought you didn't cook at all. I thought you were like, I'm just eating the raw materials. I
didn't eat the raw materials necessarily. I mean, I didn't dive deep into that system, but I didn't feel like that's not fair to compare to the Persona system.
I don't know.
Cooking is not fair. That is not a fair comparison.
It's pretty much the same thing. You combine two things in a pot and get something out of it that you don't know about.
But it's not as important as getting new personas.
You can't get all the hearts unless you eat a food.
Until the DLC. And
then you can wear your Switch shirt that says "I paid for this DLC."
But you don't have to get really deep into the system to get bonus hearts either. You could just cook a couple truffles. Like
you don't have to get deep into Persona.
All you gotta do is put combine two frosts together. Yeah, shove those frosts together and see what happens.
King Frost.
That is presented to you as so important a part of that game.
In which
did you play? Wait, which Persona did you play?
I played 3 and 4.
You should play Persona 1 and 2, and then the other 2.
What?
I really like the crossover game.
The Fire Emblem.
The Fire Emblem crossover Shin Megami Tensei game.
Not a Persona game.
It kind of is.
Not even a Fire Emblem game.
Not really a Shin Megami Tensei game.
Some might say it's a new IP. They put names on it so people would buy.
Yeah.
Do you think that people would have received that game as well if it wasn't for the? No one. That game.
It was a game on the Wii U. So all 4 people who owned a Wii U said, "Yay!"
Right, we got a game.
They should re-release that game because I do want to play it, but I never owned a Wii U.
I will let you borrow my Wii U.
Quit saying that. I don't want a Wii U. That's the biggest thing. I don't want a Wii U in my house.
Then play it at Jimmy's house. The thing I wish
visit me for a few weeks.
I wish Tokyo Mirage Sessions was just Persona with Fire Emblem characters as the Personas. Because imagine a world where you take Marth and Lucina and you smash them together and Roy comes out.
Roy's awesome.
That's what I want. Because Roy's our boy.
Listen, I've playing Fire Emblem Heroes.
I'm sorry.
You can shove all kinds of fire.
Right, you can shove all sorts of people into each other.
Yeah, there's so many. There's more than I ever realized.
Plenty of
As
people to be a
Fire Emblem.
cast of summons.
Well,
There you
we kind of got off topic.
What was
The topic was how good is Persona 5, and the answer
It's
is the
gonna be real-
goodest.
It's gonna be 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10,
Guaranteed.
5 stars.
Guarantee
Game of the generation, all years. Lots of style, lots of funkiness.
Oh, it's gonna get most style. It's gonna be the most stylish of
No.
styled. Are you kidding me?
It's not gonna get most best style.
Better than Zelda, better than Mass Effect, worse than Nier, but only by a little bit.
See, there it is.
In terms of game of the generation.
Okay.
Well, you didn't give your thoughts on the Switch.
Oh, right. Yes. I think I like it more than you do.
I that's probably fair.
Yeah. I'm for one. I'm a big. I play portables in situations where you totally don't need to play portables. I can't explain it. I don't know why. I just like playing like in bed or like sitting on the couch. So there's that, and it's perfect for that. Like using it as a portable has been great.
I know my opinion doesn't mean much, but I'd give it 10 out of 10. Would bang.
would bang again.
Yeah, it's great. Switch is awesome.
Yeah, but have you tasted the cartridges along with half the internet?
Right?
No.
I hear they taste like a bad taste.
Yeah.
Like you're deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that
don't
was the
see
rumor.
I don't see how it's going to keep people from eating them. Because if you ate one, you're not chewing it up. You're just swallowing it. And
Is that a challenge?
I'm just saying, in general, if like someone's gonna accidentally swallow a Switch cartridge, it's not because they chewed it up and ate it. It's because some stupid kid accidentally swallowed it. Like, yeah, I don't. Has that really been a problem? Like, are people?
Yeah.
Is there a mass swallowing of 3DS cartridges out there? Like,
do you have an SD card?
I do.
I used to.
You have a
Yes,
micro
I
SD
swallowed
card.
Did you
I
swallow
swallowed
it? What did you say, Mike?
The micro SD cards have the same bittern on them because kids would swallow them.
Are you serious? I did not know that.
Yeah, lick one.
No. The things I've heard about that taste, I am not.
So yeah, cartridge taste aside, I think it's really I like it a lot. I like the system a lot. I think it's if the indies come to the system the way they're
Oh, you mean the Nindies?
if all the nindies come to the
Nindies.
system, and Nintendo supports it, like if it gets
Yeah.
enough sales, then I think other companies are going to release like one-off games for it. Like
Yeah, but it's still gonna have the same third-party problem.
it's
My
not going to have
favorite-
cross-platform support, but it'll have like if it sells enough, it'll have people coming to it just to sell to people that have.
That's true.
So
My
When you
favorite
made the
feature
comment
is-
that I don't like it as much as you, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Actually,
well,
I
you
think-
said it's
yeah, but I was thinking about. I mean, I think we both like it a lot for different reasons. You like it in terms of the practicality of it. I
It works
really
so well.
like it because I'm seeing what it's going
Potential.
to be, what it's going to be used for in terms of games. A lot of the collections and stuff that are being announced, and the virtual console stuff that's coming, and just I mean the games in general that have been announced. I feel like I'm a lot more excited for more of them than you are. I don't know if I may be wrong. I just from the way we've talked about it.
what do you mean by more excited about the games? Like I'm going to play Mario Odyssey. I'm going to play the Xenoblade sequel, assuming it doesn't require.
How
a lot of knowledge of the
excited
first
are you
game.
for them?
Just watch a Let's Play. That's all you
I
need to
mean,
do.
have you ever met me? How excited am I about almost anything?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I think
I mean, they have an SMT game coming out for it that they showed absolutely no footage of, and it looks
That's
cool.
because
Yeah.
they don't have any footage of it.
Right,
They say,
I know.
Let's make this, please.
There's a no more heroes spiritual successor or whatever
yeah.
coming out for it. I love those. I played both of those two games on Wii back in the day.
You think you're gonna have to jerk off the Joy-Cons?
Of course you are.
I mean, I hope you're going to be able to do that. It's not. It's going to be weird though because they don't know how you're playing, like what orientation you're playing in. So
Oh, with that HD Rumble,
I know you
It's
should
adaptive.
be playing.
it's
You can feel that
adaptive.
battery charging.
Yeah.
I feel like he would have you do things different. Like he'd have you do different motions with both of the Joy-Cons, but then it's like, well, I literally can't do that with them attached to the system or in the grip. So,
I mean, they don't have. I don't think Nintendo has problems with that though, considering there's already a game you can only play in portable mode.
right.
That was
right.
surprising. I thought that
It's
I mean,
a touchscreen game.
yeah,
Anything touchscreen is gonna be portable only.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you don't want to tell companies they can't make games for your system when your system has 2 games. So
Please,
Yeah.
please make a Bayonetta 3, please.
I don't think Bayonetta 2 sold enough to make Bayonetta 3.
It did not, and it's because it was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, Bayonetta 2 wouldn't have happened if it wasn't on the Wii U.
That's
so-
100% true. Yeah. That game scored really well, but it didn't sell because it was on Wii U. But so I mean, who knows? I mean, it's Platinum, and that seems like their only like flagship series. So who knows if they'll try to get another one done? Maybe. If the Switch takes off, maybe Nintendo will be like, yeah, sure. That game got like 10 out of 10 everywhere. We'll try it again. But
Maybe.
maybe I don't know. Platinum's only got like 2 or 3 projects right now to their usual 8, so they'll probably pick some other stuff up.
right. Well, I think that's on purpose. I think they saw that their quality had gone in the shithole.
I don't know if it's on purpose so much as by necessity.
Well,
You heard it here first.
Quality
We're
over
gonna make a
quantity.
Power Rangers game.
Oh,
maybe.
they missed it by this much.
Maybe. Well,
If they
it
do,
seems like
they don't do a movie adaptation.
I mean,
That
it
never
seems
works
like
out.
that movie.
Do they have anything in development right now?
Who?
Like Platinum, because Nier just came out.
Oh, let me look.
They had Scalebound, but that got canceled.
R.I.P. baby.
Which everyone, no one seems to care about that, but
Let's see here.
They probably cared.
maybe, or maybe they didn't, and that's why it got canceled.
They have 2 games. One is a PlayStation 4 game called Grand Blue Fantasy Project Relink.
What do you know anything about Grand Blue Fantasy?
Nope.
It's a I listened to 8-4 play.
It's co-developed by Side Games.
It's a mobile game. It's a huge mobile game in Japan, I guess.
Okay. Well, they also
So-
have a mobile game being developed called Lost Order for Android and iOS.
So it sounds like they're making a mobile game and a mobile game spin-off.
Mm-hmm. And granted, these are only the 2 things that have been announced.
Right.
I'm sure they're working on a lot more than that.
Hopefully they're working on Nier DLC.
Probably. I mean, that game's doing
Or-
pretty well.
That game
Dude.
is doing better than even Square Enix thought it would. So.
Of course, yeah. Speaking of projections, and we're talking about Nintendo, kinda. Did you see? I guess Nintendo is really disappointed in the amount of revenue that Super Mario Run brought in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Not surprised. They
Not
did
surprised
really-
at all.
They did not make that like a mobile game. Like,
Good.
They just charged
They
you
should
$10 for
tell
it
them to
instead
stop.
of microtransactioning the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Stop
It's just-
making mobile games.
I guarantee you, Fire Emblem brought in more.
Fire Emblem brought in more.
I guarantee it has to have.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
I mean, I've put money into
just by the way the system works. Like
it.
with Super Mario Run, no matter how
Mistakes.
much you like the game, you're only ever going to pay $4, or
Yeah.
$10 or whatever the price is. With Fire Emblem, you might pay $3, but then my boy Marth, who lives in the middle of fucking Chicago, who's like, I gotta get that Marth, and he's gonna put in $600 until he gets his 5-star Marth. It's like, I mean, it had to have, right? There's just not enough. Like, there's just more ways to give Nintendo money with those kinds of games.
Yeah. The Nintendo Switch, we'll see. Hopefully everything works out this time. I don't want to see Nintendo go away.
I mean, it's probably going to be somewhere between the Wii U and the Wii. I just hope it's not a
Yeah.
GameCube. I mean, I feel like GameCube is what it's looking like it, but
There's no handle.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it being a game.
there kind of is a handle.
If it does,
For the success of the company, though, like for them to be profitable and everything.
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not saying GameCube's a bad system. I'm just saying, don't we want it to be?
I
better
was
than that?
speaking in terms of the quality of games because there were some
I'm talking
really
about the-
awesome
I'm talking about
games.
sales.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I would hope it to do better. Well, I mean, I think it's going to do really well in Japan. I think it's the real question is how well it's going to do in the West.
Well, they don't have like Xbox over there, right? So but there isn't much choices.
Well, they have PlayStation. That's all they need.
No.
I mean, the fight between Xbox and PlayStation really is just PlayStation, to be honest. But because Xbox, I mean, you buy an Xbox, you're not buying it for first party. You can just buy a PlayStation, get all the first party PlayStation games, and get all the third party games as well. So I mean, the Xbox really is moot, technically, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll see what happens with Scorpio, but that's another topic for another day, I think.
Who's their president right now?
Not
Head of
sure. I feel
Xbox?
like it's like a revolving door.
No, the same guy.
the
Phil.
it's Phil Spencer.
Yeah, Phil Spencer.
Oh, that
I've-
position. Okay.
Yeah, have you seen have you seen much of him talking, like the things he says and how he presents stuff?
Some, yes.
I guess my thing is I'm impressed by it. I think he's done a really good job.
He's what they need.
He's done an amazing job.
They needed someone who could come in and then be like, Xbox is great. We're not market leaders right now, and we know it. But Xbox is great. You should still get an Xbox. Instead of what they had when the Xbox One launched, where it was
TV,
fuck
TV,
you,
TV.
you're going to do what we want. We were market leaders last time. We're going to be market leaders again. Like
They weren't even trying. They were working under the auspice that they were going to win no matter
they
what.
were just going to, yeah.
So how can I get the most money out of you? Like, what can we make you accept? Like, what can we convince you is a good?
Although I will say, the one feature from the originally announced Xbox One always online DRM bullshit that I'm sad we never got is that thing about how every game was essentially going to have an hour-long demo because you'd be able to share an hour-long worth of gameplay with your friends because it was all just digital files.
I thought for sure you were going to say the cloud computing.
I mean, we don't know cloud computing is dead yet. Crackdown 3 needs it to run your physics.
Well, isn't Crackdown 3 going to be Scorpio exclusive?
No one knows what's going on with Crackdown 3
no
except that it's still being made technically.
I bet it's going to be Scorpio exclusive because they decided they can't run servers to do they can't do remote.
What if they just announced Crackdown 3 and it's a World of Warcraft style MMO?
Oh my god. What a twist.
It's like we went back to the drawing board with this one and we played a lot of WoW. And here it is.
Oh man.
And one of the classes is the announcer and you can say skills for kills, agent.
I really enjoyed the first Crackdown.
Yeah, the first one was awesome.
I didn't play the second one.
The second game had a shotgun you could ragdoll your teammates with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they would go to get an orb, and right before they got it, you would ragdoll them across the map, and they would yell at you a lot and then turn off the game.
Oh.
It was a fun game.
Troll your friends.
Yeah, no, the first game was better than the second game. The second game felt soulless. The first game felt like they were working on a thing they wanted to do. The second game felt like it was like, well, I don't know. Here's the same activity 30 times. The end.
I mean, a lot of games do that.
It's true.
But doesn't necessarily make them good.
Speaking of doing the same activity 100,000 times.
Yes.
Destiny 2 has a poster that you can see on the internet.
I linked you a poster.
You did.
I did. Why don't you take a look at that? Take one short, quick break, and we'll finish the podcast.
We'll be back.
Welcome back. So, I believe it was Thursday, NeoGAF leaked an image of a Destiny 2 poster that came out of the GameStop offices in Italy.
They have GameStop in Italy?
Yeah.
Neat.
So, we see a few things on this poster. We see 3 characters, what looks to be a hunter, titan, and a warlock, the 3 classes that were in Destiny 1.
Makes sense.
We see a release date, which says September 8th, which falls in line with Bungie's
With Bungie.
Bungie's
Yep.
release schedule.
Makes sense.
And we see a name which clearly says Destiny 2.
Oh.
In Anticipo. No, Destiny 2. So there's no subtitle, no new name. This says Destiny 2. If this is true, I think that is the best move they can make. Clearly putting a number on it.
Destiny 2, the fourth Destiny game.
Because if they want to bring new people in and bring people back, I think that's the only way to do it. They
could have just called it Destiny.
That wouldn't have worked.
Just immediately rebooted the entire franchise.
I mean, this may well be.
Yeah.
But I still think it's important that they put the number on it. I think that's a good move. If you notice in the top right hand of the poster, we see what looks like PlayStation stuff.
Makes sense.
So we may have some PlayStation exclusives again.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Activision did it with Call of Duty DLC.
Yep.
They did it with the first game's DLC and stuff, so it totally makes sense. I bet they're going to get the beta first and stuff, too.
Yeah, probably. And on the bottom, it says beta in Anticipo. So,
I don't speak Italian. Can you
anticipate
translate?
a beta.
Oh, okay.
Which would kind of fall. This all kind of falls in line with what happened with Destiny 1, E3. We see the big Destiny stuff. They announce a beta coming in June, and then it's released in September. This very well could be what happens here. I saw a report that apparently they told at the investors meeting the game is still on track to be released this year. Like that
I really hope so.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to make new posters.
Yeah, if this is a real poster, I mean that's still kind of a little up in the air, but this looks pretty legit.
This looks pretty legit. Kirk Hamilton of Kotaku, I think that's that dude's name. He's the guy at Kotaku who seems to have a buddy at Bungie because he's always ahead of Bungie's announcements with Destiny leaks.
Mm-hmm.
He was confirming that Thursday that Destiny, this is real. They're going to be announcing soon. I guess he had been told as early as maybe they're just going to announce it that Thursday, and then that didn't happen. So
yeah, I kind of expected if this was real that they would maybe come out Friday and say something at the very least.
I wonder if they were working on a trailer or something to go with the announcement, and the trailer just wasn't ready yet, so they're gonna try to get that stuff out.
And they want to wait till that's done. Yeah. Or at this point, they haven't said anything. Just wait till E3. It's only a couple months away. If they have something big planned for E3, I could see them totally just okay, the poster.
Yeah, but you could make the same. I say you can make the same argument. Just go ahead and show it now. Instead of getting,
there's not as much focus around it.
Right, but I mean at E3, everything is popping off. Why don't you show off something now to get people excited, and at E3 show gameplay?
I think it'd be smarter to wait because people are oh wait, remember those Destiny leaks? Are they finally going to show us? I think it's
people
gonna have
that
more
are
buzz.
super tuned into it.
I think it's going to have a little more buzz behind it.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't see this story until you brought it to my, and I'm on Reddit all. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the leak thing isn't.
Well, that would kind of go in favor of that argument as well. If not that many people saw it, then okay, we'll just keep what we have under wraps until when we plan to actually show it.
I don't know. I mean, you're saying you think that's the plan.
I think at this point, I think it's pretty obvious that they're gonna hold on to it, probably, until they're ready to show it, for real, instead of oh shit.
I don't know.
I also think people expect it now. I think people are people in the Destiny loop. I think are expecting that game this year already.
Don't forget, Activision doesn't have a press conference at E3.
No,
I mean, it'll just show up at Sony.
Yeah,
right.
Do we think that PC release is gonna happen?
No.
I wish. I wanted to. I want to be able to play.
Yeah, like they were coy about it for the first game.
Yes.
They haven't mentioned it at all, but they also haven't really talked about the second game. But I don't see it. If it happens, cool. I'm glad for it. But I could see them instead being like, no, heads down. Let's get the console versions that we've already talked about. Let's get those done good in a real good state because we can't miss again. We have to nail this one. And I don't know if they would want to take on the additional development tasks of getting a PC port up and running for that as well.
I could see
Well,
see
and it's
that.
more update pipelines too. I mean,
Yeah.
the more places you put it, the more places you have to update it. But they're gonna drop PS3 and Xbox 60 with too, right?
It's true.
They already dropped that
last
with
gen.
Rise of Iron, I believe, didn't they?
Yes, that seems. I
Yeah.
believe that's correct.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they're getting rid of 2 consoles, I don't know. I just want
That
it.
just means they're going to announce it for the Switch. It's gonna be
I
a
can
Switch
see it happening both ways. I think we got a 50-50 shot, to be honest. I mean, I knew a guy who was brought in on the final like code push for Destiny 1, and I asked him if you know, are they going to bring it on PC? Like, I've heard rumors. He's like, he told me flat out they were working on trying at that time. I mean, it didn't happen. But I guess they tried. They probably just decided against it last minute, or maybe not last minute, but
It's probably not last minute.
yeah. So I think I don't know, Destiny. I think it would do well on PC. I
don't know, because what happens if Destiny 2 comes to PC, and it is very much like the mouse and keyboard controls are garbage. They want you using a gamepad, like.
Well, we know they can make a mouse keyboard shooter. I mean, Halo PC was.
You know they could.
It felt really good. Like
they haven't made one since, and half the people that worked on that game are probably at 343 or aren't with Bungie anymore. That company's been through. Like it's a lot of time.
That's true, but also at the same time,
also, wait, no, hold on. Didn't Halo PC wasn't that made by Gearbox?
You're right.
Yeah, Bungie didn't touch that.
That was ported by Gearbox.
So not coming to PC.
Probably not.
Or if it comes to PC, I could totally see it being, instead of them spending time and effort to get the mouse and keyboard controls feeling right, they just pull out Dark Souls and go, use a controller. We spent time making the controls good. Use a controller.
I would still be okay with that. I just want it on the platform that I actually.
I guess I would be. I mean, I'd complain about it, but I'd be more okay with that than it not coming to PC. I don't know.
I mean, it's the same thing with Dark Souls. People were happy to have it, even if they had to use a controller.
What do you think is going to be different in this game?
I hope there isn't a separate social space. I hope that it's a bigger. I hope this sounds weird. I hope it's just the patrol maps are essentially more open worldy, and you can like find cities that are social spaces instead of.
I hope there's a paraglide.
So you think it's going to be more MMO-ish?
Not necessarily. Like I think it'll be more. I want it to be more Division-y, if that makes sense. Where the Division had separate social spaces, but you didn't load out to a map and select it and then load into it. You just walked to the safe house.
Yeah.
And then you took your crew and you walked out to the open world. That's kind of what I kind of hope or expect.
Yeah, that tied in with what they've made already. I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because really downfall of Division was kind of the mechanics. I think it just didn't feel as good as as a game
the
like
Division's had its issues, as Ubisoft will probably tell you, considering all the patching.
And don't get me wrong, I liked the Division. Like I'm not saying that I thought it was bad. I very much enjoyed the time I spent with it. I haven't gone back since like the first couple months. One day maybe I'll go check out the new stuff. But no, I really did like the Division. I'm not trying to say it was bad. It just wasn't as good as Destiny.
I expect new classes, and by new classes I mean I could see them introducing
like subclasses,
either subclasses or something.
I think we'll definitely see at least new subclasses.
I don't know if you can get away with. Oh, you're the hunter with the 3 arcs, like the 3 elemental abilities again. You're the warlock with the 3 elemental abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I think what would be interesting is if they go back to the popular fan rumors that came out when the first expansion was coming out, and that you could become a fallen guardian or a guardian of the darkness or whatever.
Add a PvP, like a real PvP element to it. Like
Right, like sort of turn the PvP less into, oh, your guardians fighting each other to practice, and more, oh, like whichever faction
I
you
fight
are,
for
like,
evil.
you see the other side as the opposite or whatever, sort of like American
Would it
Arms.
be-
That would go
would-
against the lore, though.
Well, but could it be something? I mean, I didn't play, but what's the what are the blue people that live out in the middle of nowhere?
The Awoken.
The Asari?
The Awoken.
The
No,
Awoken.
the Awoken, aren't they? They're not really on the Traveler's side, right? Like they're kind of on their own.
Yes
like,
and no.
There's a faction of Awoken that aren't on the Traveler's side, but according to Destiny 1, you can also just be an Awoken who lives on Earth.
Right. I know you could play as an Awoken. I just meant like, is it possible to have a faction that's just not like that doesn't agree with?
It doesn't care. I mean, totally. There are factions in Destiny 1 that are in the tower that don't agree with the Traveler.
Right. So you could be like, I'm pro Traveler, but you could still fight the same. They could still do that and fight the same enemies.
Like, I believe in humanity, and I don't think the Traveler does. Either way, I don't like the Hive, so
Right.
I'm going to shoot the Hive to death now.
It wouldn't ruin the story. It wouldn't ruin the like arc of the story. It would just allow you to fight other players without it being ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And you could be like a super emo, like
You'd be like, oh, I'm
Jeez.
I'm Sephiroth, but
yeah,
with,
yeah. Like,
armor.
I'm such a cool guy.
We'll see.
Cool
I don't know.
guy.
I don't know. It doesn't
Edgelord.
feel like
I got a big
they
sword.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel like they're gonna take the game in that direction. In terms
Probably
of,
not, but
I
a
mean,
girl can
how do we
dream,
know?
can't
Though?
she?
We haven't seen anything.
I
we
saw
know-
this poster.
just
All we
based
know
on
is
the story direction
Destiny
they've been
2
taking.
might
I
be
don't know.
a fucking third-person shooter that turns into a Tetris game
What
halfway
what
through.
if this
God.
poster is one of 2 posters?
Puyo
this is-
Puyo Destiny? Is that what you're hinting at?
No,
Puyo Puyo Destiny. No, yeah, like what
What if there's another poster with Destiny 2 on the left-hand side?
and then
and
it's got
3
the
guard-
same 3 guys like rushing towards each other, but they're evil. They're
Yeah,
the
they
Dark
look.
Guardians.
They have like they're instead of white and red, they're like black and purple
Black and orange.
or whatever. Yeah,
What?
these are all humans, aren't they?
I believe
yes.
these are all humans.
All
yeah.
3 of these people are human.
What if they removed all the other races? What if they said robots and Awoken go fuck off to space?
It's
and then-
weird
That's
that they
not-
didn't have any robots or Awoken on this poster at all.
I don't know. Humans sell better, probably.
I mean, I guess. But if you want to take canonical characters, the leader of the hunters in the tower is a robot, and he was pretty popular, at least when the Taken King came out, and he was your voice in your head for a while. So I could totally have seen them putting like the class leaders on the poster or whatever, and getting away with it that way.
I think it's the classic because people have looked at this stuff before. Like usually you don't see aliens on covers because humans on covers sell better. Same thing with like certain looks on covers sell better. Chin down, eyes
It's
up.
true.
Like
I was gonna say the Titan on this has got his chin pretty far down. And his
yeah,
eyes
I
pretty
mean,
high up.
I think this is
mean-
100% like marketing numbers. I think this poster like that's
Well, the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know the marketing value in a pre-order poster. Because you're like, unless they're putting these posters up in the store, I would
people are
assume they'd
gonna
have
this is 100% like a poster you're gonna see at a GameStop. Like
Well, no, because I see these as you walk in and go, I'll give me the Destiny, and then they go, okay, here's a pre-order for Destiny, here's your poster, and you go, thanhanks, and then you turn and like walk past the
Oh,
big
no,
cardboard
I saw
cutout.
no, this is totally
I
a
see this up
marketing
in the
poster.
window. Yeah, I see this actually posted up.
Because it talks about the beta. Like,
Did you see the story about like 100 and some GameStops got closed?
150 GameStops are going to be shutting down because they become like
Fewer.
Starbucks.
Because
That's
in 2013 they don't need them anymore.
Fewer posters.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a pre-order poster that talks about the beta on it.
I'm not saying that's not going to be given out to people. I just feel like
I don't
could
think this
totally see
poster will be given out in the States.
Of course
That's a bold prediction.
Oh, what if they do it that way? What if Europe gets humans on their poster? North America gets all EXO. Japan gets all the blue people. And if you put
Australia
all the
gets
posters,
the evil people.
yeah, and if you put all the posters side by side, it unlocks the full image, and that starts the ARG.
Oh no. Destiny 2 is Frog Fractions 3.
No, Destiny 2 is Frog Fractions 4.
Oh.
And the plot of Frog Fractions 4 is finding out what happened to Frog Fractions 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there any other things you guys wanted to talk about in terms of what's happened past month or so?
No, I'm excited about the games coming up too.
Yeah. So some of the games coming out next month are There's rumor cancellation, but Persona 5, and April 4th maybe.
April Fool's Day, baby.
The Stardew Valley Collector's Edition, for PS4, Xbox, and PC, but not the Switch.
Have they announced anything for Switch as far as Stardew Valley?
Stardew Valley is going to Switch. It's the first one that's getting the multiplayer.
First multiplayer.
Yeah.
But they're not. They haven't announced when that's coming.
I don't think they've announced an actual release date for it yet. I think they've said summer. I think that's what I saw.
That's gonna be.
But no, it's coming April 11th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's the collector's edition.
Whatever.
Ukulele.
Whatever.
For PS4, Xbox, and PC and Mac. April 11th. Not the Switch. They haven't put a date in the Switch version yet. The Disney Afternoon Collection. I don't know if you guys saw this. Coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One, April 18th. It comes with DuckTales 1 and 2, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 1 and 2, which were all NES titles. I'm excited about this actually.
That's cool.
I loved DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale. I didn't really play Darkwing Duck and Tailspin, but I'll try them out. And apparently the sequels to DuckTales and Rescue Rangers were basically just additional levels. They weren't like different games or anything. I don't know if they came stateside or not. So that's interesting. And then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe comes April 28th. Battle mode comes back.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That'll be my second Switch game.
Are you really? Are you gonna get it?
Oh, yeah, Jen wants.
Oh wait, are you getting another Switch or?
No, I've got more than one way to control it, and it's a console you can play on the TV.
I guess. But
Wait,
you don't
play the Switch on the TV?
Right? You don't do that. That's where this is confusing. Like,
apparently you can. I've been told.
Well, maybe I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll pick it up too.
Oh, I'm not gonna play online with you.
Oh, fine. Son of a bitch.
Oh no, it all came full circle.
Yeah. Well,
like the wheel on Mario's Kart.
We had a bonus topic planned, but this has gone on really long. And this first podcast was kind of gauging how long these were going to take. So we're probably going to do a bonus episode that'll go up shortly after. What we're going to do is
Patreon's only though.
Patreon only. I wanted to kind of give a chance for each of us to kind of introduce ourselves and kind of our background and history with games. I thought that would be really cool. So we'll record that at a later date, and I'll put that up shortly. I hope shortly after this goes up. So look forward to that. And this is going to be a monthly podcast. Probably the third or fourth weekend of every month, I'm assuming, based on everyone's schedules. Hopefully we can get like a hard date down that we do it every weekend or every month, but we'll see. If you want to email this garbage fire of a podcast, that is mmmPodcast@gmail.com. Hopefully we can get an email or two. Mike, are you going to send in some emails? I know you'd planned to ask some questions.
I got tons of emails. I got questions about the size of China. I got questions about how many video games you can put in your mouth. I got questions about if you can play the Switch upside down. Look for these and more in the coming years.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean,
it's gonna take some time to address all those questions.
Right.
True.
Yeah. I mean, you just some some heavy topics.
I gotta go to the library and get the computer so I can send an email.
Your mommy and daddy really should have talked to you about. We shouldn't have to be the ones to do this.
Oh boy.
Oh.
When a People's Republic of China meets free Tibet, magical thing that happened.
Oh, jeez. Well, on that note, is there anything else anyone didn't get to bring up or anything?
I think dogs should vote.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.